Peace and Black Power family. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? You know, we had a beautiful weekend. Peace and Black Power family. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? You know, we had a beautiful weekend. Lord Abba came into the city, visit the House of Consciousness. So, you know, he wanted to speak with Jabari. I had to call Jabari up. And we made this happen. This was yesterday's shoot. This was yesterday, family. So they had a nice political debate, something different. You know, it was a good debate. They took a minute to get into it, but they got into it nonetheless. It was 3 hours. A 3-hour political debate. Jabari had to hash out some of the crazy stuff that he accused Lord Abba of doing. And so I don't want to play it without Lord Abba knowing that we live. I want him to at least watch the video as well. Let me give him a call. Let him know I'm live with the video. Yeah. So I'm going to give it to y'all. I'm going to give it to you. Yo, peace, brother Lord Abba. What's up, man? All right, I want you to know I'm going live right now with the video in case you want to watch it.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to hit that go button right now.
All right.
All right, brother.
All right.
Peace. Okay, so there you have it. Just support, y'all. That's all. Just support and donate. You know, this is what I do for a living, y'all. Some of y'all might say, oh, man, get a job. This is my job. And the way my health is, I can't get a goddamn thing out there. I got to do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? And so instead of begging, I'll bring y'all something. Because I could have easily put this up and made it a paid event. I wouldn't give a damn if I get $1 off of it. I get a paid event. You know what I'm saying? So sometime, man, show some love, show some support. I don't mind giving it up to you. Let's get it started.
Yeah, the HOK is the toughest environment. And you're at your own risk, it's the toughest environment. The HOK is the toughest environment. Yeah, stay strong, don't cry. It's the toughest environment. Yeah. No handouts here, you have to earn your respect. And when you do, you make they ass regret. They call it the toughest, and the title is earned from the bridges we crossed and the lessons we learned. In a cool-blooded kingdom, a concrete cage. Muslim, Christian, Israelites, step on the stage. I dare you, I dare you, I dare you, I dare you. In a cool-blooded kingdom, sa.neter created. HOK, where you can't fake it. The HOK is where you fight back. No room for error, no window attack. It's a masterclass, how you handle the heat. Where the pedigree is written on the concrete streets. Toughest environment, yeah, we know the score. Locked in on debate and asking for more. The HOK is the toughest environment. Enter at your own risk, it's the toughest environment. The HOK is the toughest environment. Stay strong, don't cry. It's the toughest environment. Yeah.
Tablet here. So I got my sources with me.
Okay.
Right? And 2 years, one in 2019 when this movement started to gain its groundswell, and one in 2021 with that groundswell.
There's that assertion again.
What do you mean?
Assertion again.
What's the assertion?
You are implying that the reparations movement actually had a groundswell in 2019. And I would really love for you to support that assertion because the reparations movement has its origin in the Reconstruction period.
That's a fact.
Who was the sister that went to prison for reparations?
Callie House.
What year did she go to prison?
I don't know the year. Exactly.
What period did she go to prison?
During the Reconstruction period.
But you are saying that it gained its steam in 2019. That's a ridiculous assertion.
That's a bad faith
And you're
argument.
sitting here with a historian.
That is a bad faith.
You had to know.
That is a bad faith argument.
You had to know that I was going to pull that on you.
Okay. So let's be clear. The modern reparations movement, is that better?
No.
Well, I'm not going to let you dictate how I just give my breakdown.
I don't want you to dictate it.
You are.
I don't want you to dictate it.
Because you're trying to create a gotcha moment. The fact, because I can't complete a sentence. The fact of the matter is that when we go back to what happened in 1989, we got the Civil Liberties Act of 1989, which Ronald Reagan signed into law for the Japanese Americans. This influenced Conyers and Cobra and those organizations at the time, the Pan-African organizations at the time, to put HR 40 together. This is a fact. They then were being told, wait. They went on and they did it anyway. I'm very well versed in this history. When Barack Obama gets elected, the same forces, they try to push and press Barack Obama for the reparations. They feel that we got this black president. So now it's the time for us to push for reparations. The powers that be went to Barack Obama, and I know I literally was just reading the stuff this morning in preparation for this discussion, and he said the reparations was a non-starter. And they kind of kept it out of the mainstream. When he had the discussion with Ta-Nehisi Coates, he basically said the reason why he didn't push for it was because of white backlash, and that he feared. So we know that in politics, when we have this two-party system, the Democrats are always trying to pull what some may call the swing voters, which is your moderates and your centrists. Every election cycle.
Both parties are.
Yeah, well, definitely. But, from the context of an American freedman lens, that's the term I use for my people who trace their ancestry back to the slave labor camps in here. I mean, in this country, yes. I lost my thought. But we see that this thing was squashed.
What argument am I asking you to ascertain?
About who the antagonists are, because you're saying that it's Democrats.
The primary antagonist.
Now, I'm telling you, right?
But I'll let you complete.
All right, wait. So let me end with this, because I didn't make the point, right, based off the question that you asked, which is based off of what I was
asked you again. I was like, what is he talking about right now?
I just wanted to give some context. I like to frame things. So, good looking, Sa. So, as we started to push for reparations, remember earlier I mentioned the articles from the New York Times, which was carried by The Hill, that said Democratic leadership wishes talks on reparations go away. I'm going to pull it up on my tablet in a few minutes. 2 years apart, surrogates attacked the reparations movement all over MSNBC. Roland Martin, now these are people that are Democrats. Roland Martin, what was the one sister from MSNBC?
Joy Reid is who you're.
No, not Joy Reid, but she definitely attacked the movement.
Attacked
the movement. She attacked the reparations movement because we were making demands that you are receiving 86 to 95% of our votes in any given election cycle. So the onus is on you as a party to push this thing, because the data shows that even the current data is bad, but that by 2053, the median household wealth of our people in this country will be at $0. This is what the financial and economic forecasters projected for our group of people. So there was a sense of urgency. Roland Martin attacked. Roland Martin would jump on my Twitter threads. Shut up, stupid ass. We going back and forth with all of these people with Democrats.
I want you to understand that you are not supporting your main argument. You said that the Democrats are the primary antagonists to the reparations movement. And I want you to understand that the only people in the modern era, I'm gonna say modern era, I'm talking about post-Civil Rights Act. Let's call that the modern era. Most historians would say that's the modern era, right? So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna play your game a little bit before I show you that you're not even on the board. Yes.
All right, peace and black power, everybody out there. Y'all already know what's going on. We got Lord Abba in the building all the way from Atlanta to come and sit down with Brother Jabari.
Far Rock, to be
Far
exact.
Rock,
But
to be exact.
I came up from
And
the south.
we also have, you know, who we call the Floyd Mayweather, Brother Jabari. This brother right here is not just a Kemetic brother who studied ancient Kemet, but he is a historian who deals with political, discussions as well. So you got to be ready when you're sitting down with Brother Jabari.
I've actually been involved in Democratic politics, Republican politics, local politics for a long time.
Well, I asked Lord Abba, have you ever been interested in running for mayor? What about
for
you?
mayor?
He said mayor of Atlanta.
Mayor of Atlanta. What about you for mayor of New York City?
If I ran for mayor of New York City, I would not even peak on the polling.
Well,
I've supported many people, including the current mayor. I've supported many people who have run for public office, usually on more local grounds. I'll support our assemblyman, our city council person. I have fundraisers for them. Those sorts of things are things I do.
What is your assessment of the mayor today? The new mayor that just been
I think that he has been mayor for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
I think that his trajectory is one that is probably, I think that most people in our community should be pleased with his trajectory. But I am one of those people that believes that we need to judge him on what he does, not just what he says.
Okay.
So I think that he's going to, if he's correct about the things that he said, then I think that we should support him and continue to support him. I supported him in his campaign. And I also believe that any person whose father is a professor of African studies, whose middle name is Kwame after Kwame Nkrumah, who considers himself, while he recognizes that he's Asian,
Jabari be studying,
but was born in Uganda and is proud of being a Ugandan and an American. I think that his trajectory is one that is good, but we need to hold his feet to the fire.
Right.
Because the reality is politicians don't always do what you'd like them to do, and they don't even do what they'd always like to do. They look to see what they can do while they can either maintain or advance their own political positions. That is what politicians do.
That's a fact.
That's what they have to do. If you want to remain elected or go for higher office, you need to have people support you. You need to have a number of people donate to you. You need to have people who are going to push you forward. And I think that sometimes Black people think that because we supported someone, they should do what we want. And I think that that's a fair assertion. But we sometimes forget that pulling the lever is the smallest part of the political process. It's the smallest part.
Well, let me start this conversation.
We have to make okay, go ahead.
I want to start this this conversation between you two because I know it's over there.
Yeah.
I know y'all gonna be going off on this one. Early on, I brought this up to Lord Abba. He was a supporter of Donald Trump. He voted for Donald Trump. Look at
supporter is a.
You voted for him.
That's not a good word.
But if you voted for him, you support.
That's. But go ahead.
No, what word would you rather use?
I just voted for Trump because there were issues that he aligned with that I aligned. There were issues that we aligned with.
Do you still support him?
Support means that, like he said, right?
Aligned with?
That's right.
You got to articulate what those issues are.
Oh, no, I will. And I did a little bit earlier. Just like he said, he supported Mom Donnie. Now, may have campaigned, right? You may have told people to vote. You may have contributed to the. I didn't do any of that. I just seen, okay, this issue. These align with what we need as a community, and that's why I cast my vote. So I didn't support Donald Trump. I'm not a Donald Trump supporter.
This is what Black MAGA does these days.
Now, he got mad when I called him a liberal.
Black MAGA
He got mad when I called him. I would never profess to be MAGA and won't ever profess to be MAGA.
I'll be fair. The reason why I called you Black MAGA is because you called me a black liberal. So
Okay,
it's
I got
interesting
it.
that you recognize that I didn't like when you called me that, and I did call you Black MAGA because I knew you wouldn't like it.
Okay.
To be fair, I don't think it's fair to call you Black MAGA, but I do believe that a lot of what I hear you do is critique Democratic policies, Democratic politicians, while you levy almost no critique on the people who even currently are in control of the Senate, in control of the House of Representatives, in control of the Supreme Court, and in control of the presidency. You lay all of your firepower on us. That's what you do.
It's not true.
So for you to say you were not a supporter of Donald Trump, this brother was out there making ridiculous arguments, including, and he's probably going to still make this argument because once you do it in public, you're probably going to continue to do it. This brother was out there trying to tell us that we didn't know what a black woman was, that the person running on the Democratic side was not black, showed ridiculous images of family members that were not the family members he said they were. Clearly, he was a Trumpist. Clearly. And I called him out on that before. That's the reason why this brother, my brother, I still love him. I'm upset with him. I'm really upset with him. I'm going to tell you why I'm upset with him. But my brother, a person who I think, I would not sit with him if I didn't think that he had intelligence. I wouldn't. It would be a waste of my time.
That ain't what you said on the channel.
It'd be a waste of my time. You also called me a liberal simp.
Well, you start coming at me. Wait, hold on. I want to clarify. I've always had nothing but respect for you. That's number one. Me and my brother Ali, out of the whole House of Consciousness, we've had discussions about, our years. I've been rocking with Sa since, I think my first video with Sa was 2008, maybe, 2009. And you say cool, certain brothers we always respected. So when we start having a discussion, you start coming at me. I'm like, yo, hold on, bro. I ain't never disrespect you.
What?
No,
I started coming at you.
You started with the name calling, brother.
How did I call you a name?
Well, I can't remember what it was, but I said, look, because me and my bro talked about it. I said, look, outside of wanting to debate Jabari's views on Islam, on how he viewed Islam and Tamahu, right? Because you believe that the Tamahu is white people, and I don't believe that based off of the studies and research of Dana Marniche. I've never really had no issues with you. I always said I like the brother Jabari. He's reasonable. I like listening to reasonable people, and I like to hear their breakdowns, especially during debates, because I love to debate. So when we start getting into this political thing, you start saying some things. I'm like, yo, hold on, man.
What?
So I can't remember. I don't remember. This is during, but
No.
you start.
He's right, though.
You start saying some stuff.
He's wrong.
No, you
Okay,
don't remember.
just
He's
go
wrong.
back.
He's wrong.
Everybody go back and watch the
Listen,
video.
listen.
Just go back.
Taking shots at him.
Let's be
'Cause
clear.
I thought you probably thought he was saying something to you.
Let's be clear.
Disrespectful.
I only took a shot at him after he took a shot at me.
And what was
So
the shot?
sa.neter is trying to say, yes, you took a shot. I'm not saying I didn't take a shot. I sat here on the couch
After-
and I called him Black MAGA when I know he's not Black MAGA. That was a shot. I know what a shot
But
is.
that wasn't.
But let's be really clear. This was after Lord Abba had already done those things. And when I said that he was the smartest person at the homeless shelter, that was a shot. And I made that shot
that was
after
funny.
he called me
That was
a
funny.
simp.
That was funny.
So let's be clear that I have taken shots, but I never attack someone, particularly personally, unless they attack me.
Well, I don't remember
And
it
so-
that way.
Okay, that's
so
fair.
now let's get back to the Donald
That's
Trump.
fair.
All
Are
right.
you still riding with Donald Trump today?
Before
Listen,
you
it
even
was-
say that, notice he wanted to talk about the future of black politics.
That's
the
right.
reason
That's a
why
fact.
he wanted to talk about
That's a
the
fact.
future of black politics is because he made lots of claims and did lots of stuff in 2023, 2024. And now he's seeing how it's going.
No.
And now he wants to talk about
That's
the
not-
future.
that's not
Let's
true.
hold him accountable for some of the stuff he said.
Let's hold me accountable. But
Okay.
everything that I do is about the future of black politics. That's why our platform is called Be the Power. Don't just fight the power, become the power. So then you can have the power to make a change. Like I said earlier, like I said to you during that discussion with sa.neter, I believe I said this, my goal was to get the Democrats up out the paint. I want to go back to a point you made, and then I'm gonna come back to
what
that.
you mean by that.
I am. On my Be the Power platform, we started live streaming in 2020. The smoke was always equal with Republicans and Democrats. If you don't follow my platform, then you wouldn't know that. But we went in on the Republicans over the past 5 years. When election time comes and you start to see this continuous rules being played on your people, like Kamala Harris is a black woman, and so that you should just pledge blind fealty to this black woman and go out there and elect her. That's for us that are civically aware. We understand that that's not how our politics need to work anymore. So we're going to call anybody out that's trying to take advantage of our people. Point blank, period. I'm gonna give examples. Stacey Abrams.
And I'm going to come in. So
okay, all right. Oh, that's cool. Stacey Abrams was running in, I can't remember, it was a couple years ago. She was going against Brian Kemp. She went on a 85 South podcast. And the brother asked her straight up, why is it every time that you start talking about doing things specifically for black people, y'all always have to include in these other groups? It can't just be black people alone. Stacey Abrams' response was, well, because black people are 12% of the population. So she tried to reduce us. The fact of the matter is the American freedmen is the largest ethnic group in the country, give or take any year when you have German Americans. When you start breaking us down by ancestry, in the United States of America, and I could pull it up for you, you'll see that we are actually either number one or number two in any given year, with German Americans being number one or I'll pull it up for you in a few minutes, with German Americans being number one or number two. So that, like, our job is to debunk these myths. Then what she did was
what she said about us being 12% of the population
so that you
is
can't,
a myth?
Well, wait. So that's why you can't do anything for us, while you're doing everything for everybody else who are and represent a smaller percentage of the U.S. populace than we do. That is a myth, right? So our job is to push back on that. So then once she started to see that it was brothers like myself online saying that that's not going to fly, then she came out with a plan for black men, right? She came out with this plan for black men. We went right to her website and we dissected the plan. Nothing in there was for black men specifically. The only one thing that hinted at black men was referencing young boys being suspended the most at school. Everything was for every other Georgian. So it was a full plan. Kamala Harris tried to do the same exact
Kamala?
thing. I mean, if you say it that way, I'm going to say it the way I say it. That's the way she says it. Kamala, because we've been calling her Kamala for years.
That's not her name.
Hold on. It was cool, right? Because it sounded hood. It sounded ghetto. Never once did anybody get corrected for saying Kamala or Kamala.
Then he said it right.
That's brother. He put it. He did a Jedi mind trick.
Black MAGA does.
He did a Jedi mind. But wait a minute.
Wait, MAGA adjacent.
But wait. Let me land with this point. Never once, were we corrected for saying Kamala.
Corrected from who?
Wait a minute. Let me finish. By anybody. What? And she accepted that. Because we went back and we looked at all the videos. So you don't watch my platform, so you don't know. We went back and looked at the videos where people were calling her Kamala Harris.
Okay.
There was no correction until there was no correction until this last election. What I challenge anybody to do is I want you to pull up Brother Jabari talking about Kamala, whatever. before this last election and see if he pronounces it the way that he pronounces it now.
That's only because that's what they thought.
But my point is, why didn't they correct us then,
I
sir?
couldn't find any videos of Brother Jabari
Alexa.
talking.
Yeah, Alexa just come out talking.
Yes, she does.
That's funny.
The thing that's really strange is he's making it sound like, because he was saying it on his small platform, that she was hearing what he said and that she should correct him. I mean, let's be clear. Kamala Harris, most of her political life was spent in California, on the other side of the country, from where Lord Abba's sphere of influence mostly resides. So for him to say that no one corrected him, this is a ludicrous point. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And, you know, to be honest, the reality is that as someone who has a name that people often mispronounce, when people do it in public, I don't always correct them. I don't. But we began to see that the right wing, the right side of our political discourse, Republicans, were intentionally mispronouncing her name as a means of disrespect. And so that's the reason why I'm taking issue with this brother who knows how to pronounce her name, by the way. He knows.
I just learned.
These are the
last
kinds
election.
of things. The last election ended in
Just like
November
you.
of 2024, but he's still on January 4th, 2025 mispronounced. This is what he just said. 26.
It doesn't mean anything to me.
Listen to what he's saying. So I want you to be really clear that he's doing that as a means of disregard. And the other thing I have to hold his brother accountable for is that I have seen him disregard black women. I was on a platform, I have to say this. Well, the last time he and I shared a platform, I saw him come on and tell a black woman that is part of the House of Consciousness community that he would put a dog collar around her and walk her around the house. That's what he said. Look at his face. He remembers saying it. That's what he said.
That's not
and
what I
did
said.
not have an opportunity to hold him accountable for that kind of disrespect. And so I have one of the reasons why I said I was angry with him.
I'm gonna respond to that.
One of the reasons why I said I was angry with him is because it seems that these days he trains much of his critique on black women. And I think that Lord Abba has become infected by the manosphere. I believe that I don't believe he's black MAGA, but I do believe he's MAGA adjacent. A lot of the people who we respect in our community, Lord Abba is one of them. A lot of people who we respect in our community who wanted to vote for Trump could realize that they couldn't clearly say it that obviously, that clearly in our community. So they did something a little peculiar. They just trained all their fire on the left side of the political spectrum where 80 to 90% of black people reside. That's what they did. He has no fulsome critique for the other side of the discourse, even though we know now, as we sit here, that for the last year, the Republican has been the president. We know that for the last 4 years, 4 years plus, they've controlled the Supreme Court. We know that they control the Senate, they control the House, but all he does is critique black people. And you know, the reality is that there are things that black people should do, and there are things that we should critique those people who we even elected for the things that they're not doing. That's a regular and healthy part of the political discourse. And it's not just black people. Every group does that. Every group should hold their elected officials accountable. Even though I support elected officials, that doesn't mean they do everything that I'd like them to do. We have to push them to do it. Because remember, a politician's chief aim is to either maintain their current power or to increase their current power. And that's the reason why sometimes black politicians really struggle with the issue of reparations, because they know that the majority of the American electorate will be absolutely triggered by a discussion of reparations. I speak to black politicians privately all the time who wish that we would push them more on reparations, who wish we would push everyone on reparations. We need to push the Republicans on reparations. That's what we need to do. Because the reality is, if we only have in-house fighting, the folks who are not in the House, who are actually completely in power, are given a pass. And that is what I see this brother doing. That's another reason why I'm upset with him.
Can I go now?
And so he needs to also, there are a lot of things he needs to explain to us. How in the world could he say something so disrespectful to a sister, not just any sister, but a sister that's part of our community? And I'm sorry that that happened. When I got off the live, I was not a main person in that discussion. But when I heard it, I said, I should apologize to that sister for what he said, because I was disrespectful. It was disrespectful. And I knew sa.neter didn't hear it, because there was so much stuff going on.
sa.neter heard it.
There was so much stuff going on.
I'm about to break it down.
By the way,
he long-winded.
He didn't say it, but he said sa.neter heard it. He didn't say it, but sa.neter heard it.
No. I'm going to tell you what I said.
What?
I'm going to tell you what I said. So remember the discussion.
And he also needs to tell us why he believes that Donald Trump was more in our political interests than a black woman running from California.
We'll get that. We'll get there. So the discussion was a gender war discussion, first and foremost. And one of the things that the women was saying on the panel was no man could control me in this. So I spoke in jest. And she knows that because she laughed at it. And she made one of those clutching my pearls like, oh, excuse me. So him trying to paint me as a misogynist is just really weird to me.
So what did you say?
Because wait. I love my sisters, first and foremost. I love everything about them. I love the way, let me talk to the camera. I love the way y'all look. I love the way y'all feel. I love the way y'all taste. I don't know what this dude is talking about. He's trying to make up a position for me, but I can tell you myself. And the sister, if I'm not mistaken, it was Sister Freedom. And I said something and me and this sister speak by phone. So I know he don't know none of this stuff. He's just making blanket assessments based on cursory overviews of things, right? And I said something along the lines of like, what you mean you can't be controlled? If you got with me, I bet you I'll snatch you up by the neck and whatever I said. I don't remember saying nothing about putting no collar on, but I definitely said I'll snatch you up.
Dog walk around the house.
And I'll snatch you. Yeah, I did say that.
Put a collar on you and dog walk you around the house.
I ain't say dog walk. He's trying to make it sound worse than what it was.
Sorry. What did you mean you were going to make her a slave?
It was in jest.
So what collar would you
It was in, I'll tell you this, she enjoyed it.
Oh.
You didn't like it, but she enjoyed it.
Brother.
Did he enjoy it?
This is why I'm going to take this brother, who I respect, to task.
Okay, well, now let's get to the second part of what he talked about.
By the way, did you notice that he did not significantly disagree with my assessment of what he said? Did you notice that, family?
All I said was, I didn't say it that way.
All he said is, I have a personal relationship with her, so I didn't say it. It was in jest, is what he said. So he did not disagree with me.
Hey, Jabari
You did not disagree with me.
Yo, Jabari is like hold on. Jabari is like a ventriloquist. He will take.
That means you the dummy?
Your word. That's a good one. I'm gonna give you props on that one. I'm gonna give you props. He'll take your words, use his words to twist your words, and then put his words in your mouth and make it believe that you said
wrong.
That I don't have respect for the sisters because of a joke that I made to a sister on a platform where we was having a gender wars debate. That was wrong, brother. And you're not going to sit there and say, you know what? Knomaybe I am wrong because I didn't see it as a joke.
No.
You're just going to try to hold me to that. But anybody that knows Lord Abba, Naheem, they know I love my women. So this guy is he's just saying stuff.
It's not about whether
he's
you
just
love
saying
black women.
stuff.
It's about whether you see them as equal partners in our struggle. If you see them with respect.
Who doesn't see them? What do you mean?
You cannot say you see someone as an equal partner if you put a collar on them and dog them around.
Come on, man.
By the way, if that was the way that they joke privately, which I doubt.
It wasn't private. It was on sa.neter's channel.
That's what made it worse. You did that in public.
No.
And he needs to be excoriated for that kind of misogynistic language used on a sister on our platform. So he should apologize. Ask him to apologize.
No, I'm not.
Okay, he won't apologize. So I'm going to hold him accountable for it.
Again.
He didn't apologize, so I'm going to hold him accountable for it.
Again.
By the way, still ask him, what did I say that was wrong about what he said? He hasn't said there's anything I said that was wrong.
This guy does this all the time, so I came prepared for this, y'all.
So you should be prepared. What did I say was wrong?
Again, I want to clarify. I said that in jest. Notice he tried to hold me responsible in a way that said we're not looking at our women equally. But I don't know if you remember that conversation, Sa, but them women weren't looking at us as equals. And that was what I had the issue with. No, he just made an exasperating sound like, oh, you know why? Because he's not here to hold them accountable. That's that liberalism. That's that liberalism in them right there.
That's what it is.
That's that liberalism.
Do you remember the name of that video?
I do.
What's the name?
It was whether black women are the most violent people in our relationships or something like that. That's what the name of the video was. And I think that the name of the video was a little ridiculous. I'm going to hold you accountable for that. But you were doing your stuff with Tommy Sotomayor.
But I didn't put the title.
Who did, Tommy?
Nah, it was some other people came up.
Yeah.
No, that was, wait, that wasn't, I don't think that was the same one with Tommy Sotomayor.
It was the same one with Tommy Sotomayor.
No, that's the one, I remember that one.
No, it is. It is.
I had on a fedora?
Yes, you did.
But no, I think that was a different one.
Well, let me say to you.
That was
the video. One? It's a video.
All right, I could be off. I could be wrong.
So now he told me I was wrong. He don't even remember which video it was. He didn't tell you what I said that was wrong.
But why you keep running?
What he said.
I need y'all to deal with.
No, I'm gonna get him on that. But what I want
he's trying to create gotcha moments.
No,
that's all
no. He created a gotcha moment.
It's not working.
So telling him what he said and holding him accountable for it is a gotcha moment.
I already said I said it in jest. Because the video that
I was lying.
The video that I'm talking about, so now here, the video that I'm talking about, there's two different videos where we're having this discussion. The one with Tommy Sotomayor is a few months ago
so
when I jumped on.
When you told him
I had my blue fedora on. I was about to go out, have my little whiskey and a cigar.
Let me show you.
I remember. Right? And then there was another video a couple months prior. So I'm saying this stuff in jest. And if you talking about the Tommy Sotomayor video, I remember sa.neter cracking up laughing, the park cracking up laughing, every on the panel cracking up laughing. So for you to try to, I don't remember, but for you to try to make it seem like it was some misogyny. Come on, bro.
He remembers a lot of stuff, but none of this stuff that's important.
From that, let's get to the bill.
Here's the video.
Let's get to the bill.
Here's the video. It was actually, I just want everyone, because I don't know if you're going to know, for those of you who are watching, it was 4 months ago, right?
It
was August 23rd. August 9th, I was listening to more of it, so I don't have the exact timestamp right now.
Play it, because I think you clipped that. It went a little viral, if I'm not mistaken.
August 23rd, 2025. It was called Who is More Abusive When It Comes to Relationships, Men or Women, is what the video was called.
Can you send that to me? Because I want to get that clip.
It's your video!
No, but I'm saying,
I think you may have clipped this out and made a short out of it.
I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link. But I just want to say, I just want to say that was inappropriate, whether it was a joke or not.
Well, that's
and if he was going to make that joke,
I'm a single man. I talk my talk. Wow. Point blank. Period.
His talk is to make a woman. And I use
nobody seemed uncomfortable when I said it.
In a qualified way, I'm going to say this. He basically said he was going to make a black woman his bitch. That's what he said.
God, come on.
If you putting a dog collar on a woman and walking around the house,
liberalism.
A female dog is called what?
Liberalism.
Okay, thank you.
Liberalism.
By the way, he said I lied, and now for the last 15 minutes, he has not said what I lied about.
No, you did lie.
Then he said he never said it. Then he said sa.neter when I said it. What's the it?
So wait a minute.
Say it. What's the it?
Okay, so now let me respond. You are pretending to recall from memory
you don't even know which video it was.
You're pretending to recall from memory the conversation. If you're recalling from memory what happened, then you would know the context. You would also remember, even in the Tommy Sotomayor video, everybody started laughing. And if I'm not mistaken, that's right. Lord Abba from sa.neter. I could be off on that one because it was some months ago.
No, that's right.
Wow, he tried to bring you in.
Especially not with
Sister Freedom.
Sister Freedom. Come on, man.
The Sister Freedom. So there was two discussions. We're talking about two discussions right now.
Yeah.
We're talking. See, I remember that.
You don't know which video it was, but he remembers it.
He doesn't remember the context.
I just told you the title of the video, the date of the video,
context,
but he remembers.
Context doesn't matter to this brother where he could try to box you in for a gotcha moment.
Let's move away from here. Let's get.
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Let's deal with the Trump situation.
Okay, let's deal with the Trump situation.
Still,
in favor of Donald Trump.
Listen, I have been very critical. I've been very critical of the administration. And if you watch my little small platform, you would know that, right? from the Big Beautiful Bill Act. I did a dissection on that when it first came out because it was said by the what is it? The OB, what is it called? The Office of Budget and
I'm not going.
The congressional budget. Well, it doesn't matter. I know this stuff because this is what we do. The CBO.
Yes.
The CBO, right? That it was going to have a negative impact on my people. So we did a breakdown to that. You think that a person that fights for his people 24 hours a day is not going to critique something that an administration does if it is going to have a deleterious effect on our people? You're bugging. But because my platform is so small that you don't watch it, you don't know that. So that's the answer to your question, sa.neter. I've been very critical. I just tweeted yesterday that the United States of America is punching down again, bombing another country and then pretending like you're showing strength is whack as F to me. So, like, I'm not emotionally tied to politics. I'm emotionally tied to my people. And the deeper we get into this conversation, I'm going to explain why we needed the Republicans in office. Those of us that's pushing reparations right now. And I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop there. Go ahead.
He just said he's going to make a 747 disappear.
Like the video, thumb up the video.
One thing that we did not hear Lord Abba say is, I'm sorry, I misled my people. No matter how small his platform is. And I didn't mean that disrespectfully. I'm saying that you're talking about the vice president of the United States. And I don't think that she was watching his platform or sa.neter's platform. So I wasn't trying to say his platform's so small that it's irrelevant. That's not what I'm saying.
It's cool.
There are a large number of people in our community that are aware of the work that this brother is doing. But it's not large enough to reach the ears, for the most part, of people who are operating in the federal government, for the most part. That's why I said that.
Understood.
So I wasn't trying to say your platform is nothing. That's not what I was doing.
I was just doing what you do. That's
fine.
I was just doing what you do.
So I'm clarifying. But I want you to recognize that during the election, Lord Abba said some things that were really ridiculous. And it's interesting that sa.neter asked him, does he still support Trump? Because what he should be saying is, I'm sorry. Because he does have influence. His platform, while small in comparison to people who operate in the federal government, is large when it comes to the conscious community. And he misled us. What he should be saying is, I am sorry. But you're not going to hear him say that.
No.
We just saw, we have seen, let's just say this. We have seen the Trump administration say that slavery was not a big deal. By the way, this brother says that he is really part of the reparations movement.
That's a fact.
But you didn't hear him come here and start with that. He didn't start with that.
What are you talking about? We've been sitting here before you came, having a discussion.
So let's be clear.
You didn't hear what we talked about.
But then he says that the Democrats are the chief antagonists when the person in the White House is erasing the image of enslavement, erases Harriet Tubman, says that slavery is not a big deal. If that's not being a chief antagonist, I don't know what it is. The Democrats have said, and they continue to say, and I will continue to critique them for this, that they do not have the political wherewithal to push forward the reparations movement without losing their current position, which is not very strong. That is what they've been saying. That's what President Obama said. That is what Stacey Abrams said. That's what all of the Democrats that say, can we really fight for reparations say? I critique them for that. I believe that they should do what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And the descendants of enslaved Africans in this country deserve their due. And by the way, for those of you who are someone in the chat is going to type, Jabari's not FBA or whatever like that. I can name, I know that Lord Abba probably isn't the one that would say something ridiculous like that. But for those of you who are typing in the chat, I can tell you about an ancestor who was emancipated in the United States. I have a record of my ancestors being enslaved in the United States. By the way, even if I didn't, that doesn't mean I can't, as an African American, talk about these issues, but I just want to diffuse that in the chat because we know what's going to happen, right? They heard me say my mother's from Guyana, and so they assume that that means that I have no lineage in the United States because I guess they've never looked at a family tree, which is really bizarre to me. But the reality is, it is possible. I'm going to just tell you this as an aside because I think he might find it interesting. This is a brother I respect. That's why I'm upset with him. I respect Lord Abba. He knows I respect him, but I'm upset with him. Just like when your brother or your sister, someone in your family does something wrong, you're even more angry with them than someone on the street doing it. That's why I'm angry with him. If Lord Abba needed something, even though I'm upset with him, I would roll my eyes with him. I would be there because I do respect him. But I'm upset with him. And I want you to know that I think now, in my research, I believe that my ancestors may have killed one of their enslavers in public.
That's what's up.
That's amazing.
Now,
I want you to look at the book
if
family.
you find that, I want to see.
Executing Daniel Bright.
If you find that, I want to see.
I'm doing even more research.
We promote stuff like that.
It's amazing. It's an amazing story. Anyway, I'm excited about it, so I mentioned it.
Indeed.
But I really do believe that we need to recognize that this president right now is doing everything he can, not to just undermine reparations, but to even undermine the concept that Africans were enslaved in this nation. Something that is without debate. That's what he's doing. We have caught him erasing the image of enslaved people. He actually fired the head of the African American Museum and said they talk about slavery too much. That's what they did. You didn't see this coming? How could a blind man could have seen this coming? Because he has been racist from the time that he stepped into public consciousness. The first time that most people were aware of Donald Trump is when he was still working with his father. And he was actually renting apartments in Queens. I knew of this. I was aware of this. And Lord Abba, who was around my age, if not, he might be a little older. How old are you?
52.
Oh, he's a year younger than me. I know we're around the same age. And he's from New York, so I know he probably heard of this too.
I've heard of a bunch of stuff. We've done our own independent
He and his
research.
father were putting C on black people's applications for colored and not renting to them. And the federal government took him to court, and he was actually supposedly held accountable for it. He and his father.
We know this history, Jabari.
The reality is that he has a long racist history. And anyone who thought that he was in our best interest, I have to question their ability to analyze information. And so that's what I'm doing here. Since he came back into office, we've also seen him, people used to say, look at what he's doing for HBCUs. Look at all of the funding that HBCUs have lost under Donald Trump. He did a little bit in his first term. By the way, people on the right side of the political discourse were constantly saying, look at the money he's giving to HBCUs. That was one of their talking points, when he gave probably around $30 million, around that amount, and people were celebrating it. The Biden administration gave $16 billion, and you don't hear a peep from them. 30 million versus 16 billion. You don't hear a peep from them. Because that's what it is, a talking point to excuse white supremacy. We've also seen him go about destroying the things that the federal government was attempting to do to address this situation that black folks have found themselves in, the inequalities. There was a federal case against petrochemical companies in Louisiana. There are people in this area of Louisiana, they call it Cancer Alley.
Familiar with it.
And the federal government was holding those companies accountable, taking them to court. On day one, Donald Trump said that he was no longer going to argue that case. The sorts of things that he has done to black people are absolutely reprehensible. It's gone so far that now we hear the vice president literally say that you no longer have to be ashamed to be white. That's how far this has gone. That's how far this.
That
I don't think
that's a
anyone.
fact.
I don't think anyone.
I'm just waiting to respond.
Thought they were
I'm
going to
trying to
go
be
that
patient.
far. I
I'm
don't
trying
think
to be
anyone
patient.
thought they were going to go this far. Well, I knew they were going to go this far, but most people didn't think they would go this far this fast. Instead of actually responding to the history of racism in admissions of people in this country, because it's a real issue. He says that he doesn't want anyone to come in, but the one group that he likes to bring in to the United States is white South Africans, because he says that black people are killing them. If this is not even textbook racism. If I wrote this in a screenplay 2 years ago,
I've critiqued all of these
no one would have given me any ability to put that movie forward, because they said this is a cartoon. Okay. But that's exactly what's happening. Okay. So I want to hear you acknowledge that you were telling people that they should support this guy. And look at what he's done in the first year.
Can I go now?
Yes, you can.
You just went on a whole diet.
You can. I'll be quiet.
First and foremost, Be the Power is a platform that has several different brothers on it. And each one of us have our own political positions. Not everybody on our platform voted for Trump. Not everybody on my team voted for Trump. Okay. So we can't take my platform to say that it influenced anybody in any way, first and foremost, because I never told anybody to vote for Donald Trump. That's number one. And you would never be able to prove it. And my videos are up right now. Be the Power. Go to the YouTube channel, Be the Power. Go back and look at all of the videos that we broke down during the campaign season. You will never, ever hear me saying, y'all should go out there and vote for Donald Trump. I just said, I think I know who I'm voting for this upcoming election. I repeated that. I said that on sa.neter's channel several times. I want to get to this Democrat thing. I'm gonna try to be brief. I want to, because this is important. Because he's only speaking about the Republicans. This is why we have to speak about the Democrats. This thing that we call white supremacy is like a bird, and it has two wings. It has a right wing and it has a left wing. And these two wings, as a bird, they work in conjunction with each other in order for them to fly and take flight, right? As birds do. The right wing of it, the left wing of it, and I'm about to read from this right now, have been our main antagonists when it comes to reparations. So this is an article that I wrote called Malignant Neglect: How Democrats Mask Black Economic Collapse Behind Diversity Theater.
This is supposed to be a source. You're reading your own.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's old, brother. Don't do that.
What are you doing?
Don't do that. Because in my article, I'm citing sources that I'm going to read from. Don't do that.
So you're going to cite the sources from the article.
Yeah, I don't. Okay. That's corny. I don't like that. All right. So
let's see you do it.
I said Democrats only talk reparations when it's safe to do nothing. This pattern is predictable. When Democrats hold power, they bury reparations. That is a fact. When they need votes, they resurrect the language without the substance, which is what we've seen with Ayanna Pressley, Summer Lee, Cory Booker when Trump first took office. Now he's out of power. Now you're going to make this grand push. The headlines tell the story. In 2019, The Hill reported on two separate instances based on two different New York Times articles 2 years apart from each other that, quote, Senate Democrats wish talk on reparations would go away. I got The Hill, if you can see that, if y'all can see that, all right, I'm gonna send it to you. If y'all can see that, you'll be able to see Senate Democrats wish talk on reparations would go away. My brother Jabari sat here and gave a whole filibuster about how the Democrats are the main people that would support reparations, et cetera, et cetera. 2 years later, another article came out. Democrats debate timing and wisdom of reparations vote, because now they were moving to vote on this thing. And the only reason why it gained the groundswell that it did was because of the modern reparationist movement. And I want everybody that's watching this to go back and look at how many co-sponsors HR 40 had before 2019, 2020, and when this reparationist movement started to grow.
Mentions where?
What you mean?
You said how many mentions it had.
I did?
Isn't that what you just said?
No.
How many mentions?
Did I say co-sponsors? I could have said something. I could have said something wrong.
Okay,
My bad.
co-sponsors is fair.
Co-sponsors, my bad.
I want to know.
Okay.
You're asking.
All right, family, that's part one. That's part one. I got two more parts. Each part is an hour. So we're going to play it. I ain't getting no love, though. I'm not getting no love or no support. I don't know what's going on with my people. What, y'all hate me or something, man? Y'all don't rock with sa.neter no more? I got one donation from a brother. Let me see who that is. Let me see. One donation. You know, I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm not going to stop it. I'm going to give it to y'all. Whether y'all support it or not, I'll give it to you. Let me see where that's at. I'm going to go on with the rest of it. Just be patient. Marcel. Shout out to you, Marcel. Thank you, my brother. Belcher. I hope I don't butcher your name. Marcel Belcher. Shout out to you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, brother. All right, let's continue. That's part one. Let's continue.
Everybody to go back, and I want you to look at HR 40, 2019 and 2020. This is when this reparations movement starts to gain steam. And I want you to see how many co-sponsors was on that bill prior. Now, Brother Jabari sat here and talked about the old reparations organizations, but none of them created the groundswell that we did to make people jump on board, because they started to realize that there was a grassroots movement shaking the political sphere on the Democratic side. Why? Because this is where we cast our votes. We cast our votes with the Democrats. That's what so you are obligated. No, what they say, no taxation without representation. You are now obligated to do what we demand. And so one of the things that the Democrats did was they said, oh, yes, I support the study of a reparations bill. Sure, I support HR 40. The question was, do you support reparations? Support direct cash payments so that we can close this 40-to-1 wealth gap between the American freedman and the American white. Do you support that? The question would get asked, and it would always get turned into one of the DNC talking points. Oh yeah, I support a study on reparations under an extremely flawed bill of HR 40, by the way. Here's another one. This article came out. Make sure everybody see this, by Caitlin Kennedy, April 5th, 2024. Let me put that to the camera real quick, because this brother always says I don't come with my sources. I got you. I'm going to send it to you. Let me read. Biden urged to act on reparations in new letter from hundreds of activists and lawmakers. Over 400 lawmakers, activists, academics, and more are once again calling on President Joe Biden to act on reparations and other racial justice priorities in a joint letter sent Thursday. Right? So they're trying to press him on moving on reparations, and he's ignoring it. And we know that he's ignoring it because, let me make sure I get this. When Jessica, or it was the House, what was her name? Janet Yellen. She went to Ghana, to the slave dungeons. And a member of the Associated Press asked her, does this, she felt the emotion of seeing the slave dungeons. Mm-hmm. Would the administration move on, I'm trying to find a quote. I'm trying to hurry up and then pull a quote, and I just can't find it. So I'll paraphrase. Move on this issue of reparations. Janet Yellen said the administration has not embraced reparations. Instead, they gave the cookie cutter response. We're going to focus on education and investments that never came to our communities, right? So now, he brought up what Trump said about slavery, et cetera, et cetera. I want to read a direct quote from Donald Trump because there's about to be a birthright citizenship fight in the Supreme Court. President Trump has repeatedly stated that the amendment was meant, quote, for the babies of slaves. Now, we had to go behind him and correct that because the 14th Amendment was not for the babies of slaves. It was for the babies of the freedmen. It was for the freedmen and freedwomen. Slavery had been abolished already. So the 14th Amendment could not have been for the babies of slaves. Nevertheless, I want to go to that executive order because this is important.
That was bait and switch. You said you were going to talk to us about Donald Trump and reparations.
But I'm
and then
doing
you
that.
started talking about Donald Trump on the 14th.
Let me do that. Let me finish what I'm doing.
Okay.
So this is the executive order, protecting the meaning and value of American citizenship. Before I read this, make no mistake about it. When we are successful in our push for reparations, and we will be, the challenges are going to come. And one of the things that's going to be used is precedent. For many years when I was in the Moorish Science Temple of America, the real Moorish movement, I started to study. And a lot of the stuff that Noble Drew Ali taught, I started to look into because nobody had really done any deep dives. There was just a bunch of man-worshiping haters over there, point blank period, outside of the ones that I was cool with, right? One of the things that we spoke about consistently was the Dred Scott decision because Drew Ali taught that we were, in fact, citizens. He said, help me get my people back into the constitutional folds of government. You have brothers like Polite running around consistently saying that we were not citizens because of the Dred Scott decision. But this was a later construction coming from what's known as the Dunning School of Legal Thought. So I want to read this first part of this executive order because it ties into our fight for reparations. It says, by the authority vested in me as president, by the Constitution and the laws of these United States of America, it is hereby ordered, Section 1, purpose. The privilege of United States citizenship is a priceless and profound gift. The 14th Amendment states, quote, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside, end quote. That provision rightly repudiated the Supreme Court of the United States' shameful decision in Dred Scott v. Sanford, which misinterpreted the Constitution as permanently excluding people of African descent from eligibility for United States citizenship solely based on their race. This is what the executive order says. This helps us immensely in our fight because there are opponents of reparations that say that the 14th Amendment gave us citizenship. And I have been saying for the past 15 years, proving, not just saying, proving that this was false. This is what the 1857 Dred Scott case was about. And all we know is Chief Justice Taney's opinion that the black man had no rights that the white man was bound to respect. But who read the dissent of Justice Curtis and Justice McLean? Well, we did. And in it, they showed unequivocally that we have been citizens in this country since day one. And I can pull the quotes because I see you don't know this part of the history, and that's cool.
I don't know this part of the history.
It seems like it because you're sitting in disbelief.
No, I'm disagreeing with your assessment of what the dissent means. That's what I'm saying.
Well, the dissenters were correct. When you
based on what?
Okay, when you read Lysander Spooner's The Unconstitutionality of Slavery, when was this written? The 1840s, 1850s? I could be off on a day. I'm not too good with dates, but he broke down the unconstitutionality of slavery. Frederick Douglass, during his debate in Europe, when I can't remember who he was debating with it, but it was overseas, he broke down the same thing. He said, and speaking to why he broke with William Lloyd Garrison, who was teaching these things that the Constitution was a covenant with death and a pact with hell, and that the Negro, according to the Constitution, Frederick Douglass decided one day, I'm going to read the Constitution. Frederick Douglass proved Number one, the word Negro is not even mentioned in the Constitution. Everything that is said is interpretive and implied. And if you want to get a breakdown to that, read his speech, What the Black Man Wants, because he breaks that down. One of the things that Frederick Douglass says in that same speech is that the colored person, because that was the term they was using, have been a citizen in at least 11 states. So that agrees with what Justice Curtis and Justice McLean, the two dissenters in Dred Scott, said. Till this day, Supreme Court constitutionalists say that the Dred Scott decision is the #1 worst decision in the history of our country. And that's captured right here. For me, and you're not into this the way that I'm into it, and I would love to get you on the phone with my team. I'm talking about our side of the reparations fight. You on a different side of it. I'm not saying you ain't, I'm just saying you on a different side of the
I'm on
fight.
a different side. How do you know my position on reparations?
Because of the many discussions that we've had, right? On
You and I have had
channel.
about reparations?
Well, yeah, well, on sa.neter's channel.
I don't think we talked about
Well,
reparations.
we've not had so let me be clear. We've not had an in-depth discussion about reparations, but it came up in, the course of our discourse on the channel, right? So let me say it's safe for me to assume that you are on the other side of the reparations fight.
Okay.
For me and my team and those of us this is valuable. So when they're trying to fight against us for reparations, again, before I shut up, one of the main oppositional points raised by the ops is that we were only made citizens by the 14th Amendment of these United States, and that is categorically false. And now we have an executive order by the President of the United States of America that's proving that wrong, something that mainstream constitutionalists would not admit for decades. For decades. In fact, Mike Huckabee, this was about 5 or 6 years ago, was running around the nation talking about we need to re-examine Dred Scott because the Dred Scott decision said that black people were not citizens. And if I'm not mistaken, that forced Condoleezza Rice to come out and say another falsity, that the 14th Amendment is what gave us our citizenship. So you wanted to know why I voted the way I voted and if I have any regrets and if I should apologize. No, not at all.
You don't have no regrets on voting for Trump?
None, zero. America is going to do what America does. Did you hear Jabari on your camera, on your platform, talking about when Obama and Hillary Clinton had Gaddafi murdered in his own hometown? No, he didn't come up on sa.neter's channel and say a thing.
No. Nope.
I'll rest my case.
You should pull him up on that.
He's here.
Brother Jabari. His brother done passed the mic, bro.
970. Give me a second. 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84. I'm going to tell you what I'm counting in a second. 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. He probably knows what I'm counting.
I don't
90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96. There are 96 co-sponsors of H.R. 40. 96 co-sponsors. That's nearly 1/4 of the House of Representatives.
Okay.
And let's go to...
Remember what I asked.
No, wait, brother. Wait,
No.
I sat here quietly.
I know, but remember what I asked.
I sat here quietly.
Remember what I asked before we created this groundswell.
You know why he's interrupting?
Because you're trying to reframe.
I'm
You're
about
trying to
to
reframe. No, you're not. You're about to do a Jabari. You're about to do a Jabari. I'm gonna let him speak.
Let me finish.
But I see what he's trying to do. But I want to clarify what I said.
Notice how he don't want me to speak now.
I just want to clarify what I said before 2019 and 2020.
Brother,
and I'm going to be quiet.
Brother.
Now I'm going to be quiet.
There are 96 members of the House of Representatives. There are 435 members of the House of Representatives, right? There are 96 people who are co-sponsors of the reparations bill. And let's talk about the Senate side, the upper house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There are 19 co-sponsors of the similar, the companion bill in the Senate, right? So altogether, we're talking about 96 and 19. 115 people, 118 people. There are 535 members of Congress, both House and Senate. So let me ask you, if his argument that is that the Democrats are the chief antagonist to reparations, you would assume that there would be, I don't know, majority Republicans voting in favor of creating the commission to review reparations. That's what you would assume if his argument was one that made any sense. Well, of the 118 people who have co-sponsored this bill, 117 are Democrats. And one of them, you might say, well, Jabari, that one person must be a Republican. No, that's Bernie Sanders, who was an independent, who caucuses with the Democrats. So I want you to understand that he is saying the Republicans are not the chief antagonists, but not one of them. They are in the majority of the Senate and in the majority of the House. Not one of them has co-sponsored the reparations bill.
That's a problem.
He is making an argument that is not borne out by the data. And that's the reason why I get frustrated with him, because this brother is not stupid. He's an intelligent, articulate brother. Why is it that he is so confused all the time? Who is he listening to? If the Democrats are the chief antagonist, why is it that none of the Republicans, we're in a two-party system, none of the Republicans have supported it in any way? Not one. Not one. Now, is it fair to critique the Democrats on what they've done or not done around our movement for reparations? Of course. Of course. I critique them. In fact, I've critiqued a few in person. And that's when they usually say to me, you know, the reality is that if we support reparations without there being a real groundswell for reparations, what's going to happen is there will be fewer of us here. And that's true. That's actually true. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Well, let me read you another quote. Okay, this is from The Hill. Okay, this is from their article from June 24th, 2019. And The Hill, which is one of the outlets that covers Congress and the president extensively. That's why it's called The Hill. It's a reference to Capitol Hill. I want you to, the article that they wrote is called Exclusive, Trump on Reparations. Quote, I don't see it happening. So what did he say? Let me read this little piece. President Trump on Monday said he doesn't believe the federal government will pursue reparations for descendants of slaves. An idea, listen to this last part of the sentence very carefully, an idea that has gained traction among some Democrats. Let me read this again to you. President Trump on Monday said he doesn't believe the federal government will pursue reparations for descendants of slaves, an idea that has gained traction among some Democrats. I don't see it happening, Trump said in an exclusive interview with The Hill. The House Judiciary Committee held the first hearing on the issue in a decade earlier this month, and a handful of Democratic presidential candidates seeking to challenge Trump in 2020 have broached the idea. I think it's a very unusual thing, Trump said, of the possibility of reparations. You have a lot of, it's been very interesting debate. I don't see it happening, though. I want you to be very clear that while this brother is trying to sell you, I don't even know what you would call it, wolf tickets? Selling you stuff that don't make no darn sense and saying that the Democrats are the chief antagonists. What he's really saying is that the Democrats are not doing what we'd like them to do and we're the folks that vote for them. That's a fair critique. But to say they're the chief antagonist is ridiculous, because at least you have people who are supporting reparations, people who would like, the bill was written by Democrats, by the way. H.R. 40, you should know, was written by Democrats. And it has now over 100 co-sponsors for that bill. But not one Republican, not even Republicans in swing states, in swing districts, have supported it. Not one. Not one. Not one. And so I want you to be really clear. For him to argue that the Democrats are the chief antagonist, keep in mind that right now, listen how ridiculous what he's saying is. Right now, the Democrats don't hold the majority in the House. They don't hold the majority in the Senate. They don't have the Supreme Court. And they don't have the presidency. But he wants you to believe that the party that is almost completely out of power is the party that actually is the chief antagonist to reparations. That's more than hyperbole. It's confusion. By the way, I also want you to know, let's not just talk about the federal government. On the local level, several states are actually truly looking at reparations. Which states are they, you might ask? California, blue state. New York, blue state. New Jersey, blue state. Illinois, reliably a blue state, but a swing state. North Carolina, reliably a Democratic state, but a swing state. I want you to understand that the only areas, and I should also include Vermont, blue state. That's where Bernie Sanders is from. I want you to understand that the only areas where the discussions about reparations are moving forward, or at least having any sort of discussion among elected officials, are the blue states among Democrats. There is not one red state where this discussion is taking place. Not one. But the Democrats are the chief antagonist to reparations. See, this follows the playbook that I'm critiquing Lord Abba for. He doesn't want to say, I'm a Trump supporter, even though he is. He doesn't want to say he's MAGA. I don't think he's actually MAGA, but he's MAGA adjacent. He doesn't want to say...
What is MAGA adjacent?
That means adjacent, which means he's not MAGA, he's not Make America Great Again, but he actually agrees with a lot of their platform, and he doesn't want to say that publicly.
I agree with what I agree with.
So
I'll say that publicly.
Can you see how he just said something unclear again? Because he's MAGA adjacent.
Unclear?
Now I agree with what I agree with. It's an unclear statement.
Well, you're talking.
I also want to say, hold on,
You good, brother. You'd be a great politician, boy. You'd be a great politician.
Hold on. I also want you to hear that what these MAGA adjacent people who are respected in our community do is they train all of their venom and heat and critique on the Democrats, and they say very little about the Republicans. And that's why he can come here in front of an intellectual platform and say the Democrats are the major antagonist against reparations. When it's a Democratic bill, and there are now 118 co-sponsors, is he right in saying that some people co-sponsored recently because they actually are listening to black people who are really upset with them? Yes, that's correct. That's correct. That some of their co-sponsorship is being done because black people are holding them to the fire. That's what's happening. Black people are insulting them, and they said, "Well, I had better co-sponsor this because then black people will think that I support them." Is that happening? Sure, but not one Republican thought that he needed to do that. Not even the black Republicans. Ask Byron Donald whether he supports reparations.
The Jamaican guy.
Ask him.
He doesn't.
Ask him.
He doesn't.
By the way, he's going to say the Jamaican guy.
The Jamaican guy. He said that's why he doesn't support it.
Are all of the co-sponsors, by the way, you should know Byron Donalds was born in Brooklyn. But I want you to
Jamaican
understand.
Descent. He said that's why he didn't support it.
I want you to understand.
You got to know this.
He didn't come here training fire on those Republicans who want to say that slavery wasn't a bad thing. They're not even in the reparations conversation. They want you to forget slavery. So definitely they're not in favor of reparations. That's what he's doing. But instead what he'd like to do is make it sound like people on the left side of the political discourse are the ones who are against your interest. That is a ridiculous argument, brother. And I would hope that an intellectual person who reads and follows politics as clearly as you do would understand that. The only reason why I would think he doesn't understand it is because he probably, under his knit hat, has a really tiny red cap on. And that's what it is.
I got on a stocking cap.
Oh, stocking cap. But he didn't show the whole thing. If he pulls it up, you're going to see a little tiny. Oh, there's the red cap.
I got on a stocking
It's
cap.
real small. Y'all got to see it. He is MAGA adjacent. And
This
there are
dude
people-
crazy.
There are people who I respect and love who have gone in that direction. I would have to say I love Tariq Nasheed. But he's in that camp as well. There are many people who have gone in that direction. They're not MAGA, they're MAGA adjacent. And we have to hold them to account. They need to apologize to us for what they did as they tried to dirty up, bloody up, attack the Democrats and left the Republicans with a free run to the goal line. That's what they did. And now we're seeing what Trump and his minions are doing against black people, and in fact, against all working people of the United States, not just black people. And they would rather focus on the Democrats, who once again do not control the House, do not control the Senate, do not control the presidency, do not control the Supreme Court, don't control the majority of state houses. The Democrats are the only ones that are discussing this stuff. And he wants you to argue with them and leave the other side, who wants to say slavery didn't happen. He wants to give them a free pass.
So, Lord Abba, you got a lot to uncover here.
He's just repeating himself, first and foremost.
How are you rolling and moving with and supporting with the campaign that don't support reparations?
They're beyond that. They don't even support the existence of slavery.
You are 100% behind
So let me. So
reparations. You got to deal with that first.
I'm gonna deal with it. I'm gonna deal with it in my breakdown, because I just want to read this again. Right, I don't know.
You read what again?
These quotes. I mean, he keeps saying. Wait a minute. Because he keeps saying that the administration doesn't acknowledge slavery.
Oh, okay.
Donald Trump said repeatedly that the 14th Amendment was, quote, meant for the babies of slaves. We can pull the video up right now. So he's wrong. Let me get to the next point.
Was it meant for slaves themselves?
Let me get to the next point. No, because they weren't slaves. They were emancipated at that time.
So then why is it only the babies of slaves?
Because he's
wrong. Can you say because he's wrong?
He's wording it wrong.
Oh, he's wrong. That's the first time.
Wait a minute.
Donald Trump, an open racist and misogynist, is wrong.
He worded it wrong.
Let's go home now. That's it.
By saying that
he worded it wrong.
The 14th Amendment was for the babies of slaves means that he worded it wrong. Because it wasn't for the babies of slaves.
So then he's wrong.
Yes.
Maybe he worded it wrong.
Yes.
He's wrong.
Yes. It wasn't.
Look how hard it was.
But wait a minute. The point was.
I could have lifted 500 pounds easier than that.
The point was, he said that he didn't acknowledge it. Well, you admit that you're wrong.
I didn't say he didn't acknowledge it. I said he wants to downplay slavery. He said that slavery is not that, was not that bad.
Okay. Well, he's using it in his argument in the Supreme Court right now.
Oh, my goodness.
Anyway, secondly, I never said that the Democrats were the main antagonists to reparations. I want to clarify.
Yes, he did.
Because I'm going to have to keep clarifying
myself
when I'm talking to Brother Jabari, because he's good. I was just sitting there listening to him. He's good. And he would make a great politician, actually.
Wow.
What I said, and I want everybody to go back and listen to what I said when you're watching this, was that the Democrats have been the main antagonists of this modern reparations movement. My words are clear. And this is a fact, and I gave examples of the people that were attacking us. Not only did I do that, I pulled up articles from the New York Times that was also published in The Hill in 2019 and in 2021 with the statement that they wish this talk of reparations would go away. Why? Because the Democrats felt that it was hurting their prospects. They have a policy of benign neglect. Jabari, like most of our people's problems, is that they want to focus on one side of the political aisle only. See, if he watched my platform, he will know that we focus on both sides of the aisle. But my people vote for the Democrats. And so we have to hold their feet to the fire. So when you have a Democrat surrogate, a pundit like Roland Martin telling us that we need to shut up, that reparations is a pipe dream. This is the Democrat that he's talking about, the Democrats, the talking heads, that we need to shut up. And that reparations is a pipe dream. And then he starts talking about where you going to get the votes from. These are Roland Martin's words. You're going to need 60 votes in the Senate to get a filibuster. That's just not true. That's if it goes to a filibuster. That's if there's a debate on it. A reparations bill would pass like any other bill. Pull it up. A reparations bill would not need a filibuster unless
need.
That's right.
You mean need to be filibuster proof?
No,
right?
no.
Yeah, because the filibuster would prevent it from coming.
Hold on. Let's clarify. The 60 votes, you're right.
Yeah.
To be filibuster proof, you're
Cloture.
right. You're right. I had to think about it for a minute.
Yeah.
But that's not true. Right?
How is it not true?
Because the bill can pass as is. The only thing you need is your 51 votes.
But what happens?
Wait a minute. Is that, see, I acknowledge that you were right? But you're having a hard time acknowledging that I'm right. Pull it up. Would reparations need the filibuster proof vote? No, it would get passed. I know because I've done this research.
I hear what you're saying.
But you can't say that I'm right.
Wait.
You can't say that I'm right.
No, wait. You're not letting me say anything.
All right, go ahead.
You want me to respond?
Go ahead.
Any bill in the Senate can pass with 51 votes.
That's right.
That's any bill.
That's right.
But the problem is bringing things before the Senate for a vote. And so in the Senate, and this is not in the Constitution, by the way, it's something that is ridiculous.
That's right.
And it has
racist origins.
It has really racist
That's
origins. Right. The idea is that if you don't have 60 senators to say that you're going to end cloture, then nothing can be brought before the Senate.
That's right.
And so that is what it is. Of course, any bill can pass with 51 votes, but almost no bill that has 51 votes gets to the floor, because if you don't have 60 members to end cloture, to end the discussion, then nothing gets brought.
All right,
so that's why you would need 60 votes for reparations.
All right.
You would need 60 votes in the Senate for anything.
All right, so
to name a post office.
So my point was that Roland Martin is dismissing reparations by saying, where are you going to get those votes from? That's my point. He's telling us that we need to fall back, that we need to shut up. This is being repeated by other pundits. I can't think of this one sister's name right now, but she has a large platform on the Democratic Party side as well. It's the same exact thing. When you get to Tiffany Crosses, that's the name that I was thinking about earlier, on MSNBC, trying to stifle what we're doing with our reparations. Like, what I'm saying is y'all are not looking at the other side of the fight. And you're looking at us focusing on the people that our people are giving our votes to. You believe that I'm oblivious to the fact that the Republicans don't want to do we report on this stuff all the time. When Tommy Tuberville, who's a rep, I believe, a House rep in Tennessee, Alabama, he was doing a stump speech for Trump some years back. And one of the things he said was they want reparations for the crimes that they committed, or some nonsense that he said. We went right on our platform and dissected all of that nonsense. We dissect any nonsense coming from anybody about our people. So, of course, we're going to focus on the side that's coming at us. The Republicans will look. The Republicans will make a statement like Tommy Tuberville did, but they're not jumping in our feeds like a Roland Martin and other Democrats. And I know because we do battle with these people all day, every day. Right now, they're on Twitter trying to come at us and trying to diminish our reparations fight, brother. You're not in that particular space, so you can't see that. So that's why our focus is there. It's not that we're giving the Republicans a pass. We know what they're about.
No one is arguing that we need to hold Democratic politicians' feet to the fire. On that, I would agree. The challenge is that the MAGA-adjacent people who are in our community, what they do is insult the Democrats. And so people who are not as well-read, people who are not following as clearly, begin to think that the Democrats are the enemy. The reality is truly, the Democrats and the Republicans are nothing more than tools to get our aims achieved. That's all they are.
I agree.
We're not talking about friendship. This is not a team. I think that part of what has happened in our country is that I call it the teamifications of politics.
That's right.
Because, you know, the reality is I'm a Mets fan, I'm a Knicks fan, right? If the Knicks are terrible, I'm still a Knicks fan. I'm going to be angry, but I'm still a Knicks fan. If the Mets are horrible, I'm going to be angry, but I'm still a Mets fan. And many people are looking at politics that way. I remember Bill Clay of the Congressional Black Caucus said, black people have no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, just permanent interests. What he was really trying to say is, look at who's going to get our aims accomplished. And then that is how we should decide who we're going to vote for. The reality is one side of the political spectrum has completely, they are playing footsie with people who call themselves Nazis. I'm not calling them Nazis. They call themselves Nazis. The vice president says, you no longer have to be ashamed of being a white man anymore. They have gone so far out of the political spectrum that we no longer have a credible means to get our agenda accomplished on the Republican side of the political spectrum.
I can give you that.
That's the reality. That's the reality. Almost all of the people who are even willing to either approach or enact parts of our agenda or even listen to parts of our agenda, which we don't think that they've actually moved forward on, are Democrats. I told you already.
Hence,
that when you look
at the Democrats.
When you look at, but you can't say they're the chief antagonist. When you say that, it is misrepresenting what is actually happening.
Brother,
what he should be saying is...
Jabari, hold on,
wait
brother.
A minute. Wait.
Because I just want to clarify.
Let me say this.
They're coming at the movement, not reparations itself. You're not hearing that part.
If you're saying one party, you say you're hungry. I'm starving. Mm-hmm. And there are two people. One of them said, all I can give you is a saucer full of food. And you go, I'm hungry. A saucer's not going to do a damn thing. Mm-hmm. And the other person says, I got some rat poison. That's what's happened here. Now listen, is a saucer full of food what we truly deserve? Absolutely not. Hell no. But the other party has made their entire agenda entirely antagonistic to black people. And MAGA adjacent people let those people who are feeding you rat poison off the hook. The people who will let your babies and your grandmamas in a place like Louisiana continue to die of cancer at inordinate rates. And the Biden administration was trying to hold those companies accountable. As soon as Donald Trump took office, I think it was literally day 2, he pulled the DOJ out of that. They have done everything that is antagonistic to black people. But because people on this side of the spectrum don't truly attack them for it, you end up thinking that the Democrats are your enemies. Both of them are tools.
Both of them are enemies.
One tool is an ineffective tool, and the other side seeks your demise. And that's the problem. Neither of them are enemies. Well, the Republicans have made themselves enemies.
I think both are.
But the Democrats, at the very least, have said there are some things that are on the agenda that we're going to try to push forward. Some things that are good for you that we're going to push forward. Are they reticent to say here is a black agenda? Yes, that is true, and it's frustrating to anyone whose interests are with the black community, like myself and like Lord Abba. That's frustrating that they won't say this is what we're going to do for black people. But there's a reason. It's because we don't have the kinds of numbers at the federal level for them to say we're doing this for black people. Because the reality is lots of other people are not black and they're going to vote against that agenda. And then they're not going to get into office. That's the problem with reparations. What we have to do is recognize that politics is not about pulling a lever or inking a dot on your ballot. Politics is truly all of the other things that lead up to that point. We have to push Democrats and fight Republicans on the issue of reparations. And we have to do it every day of the year.
So
Because there will be a time when there's a groundswell. Remember what Lyndon Johnson said to Martin Luther King about the Civil Rights Act. Do you remember what he said?
No.
He said, I support your aims, but now you have to force me to do it.
yes, I know
What he was
exactly what you're
trying
talking
to
about.
say, and by the way, what he said after that was all true. He said, if I support the Civil Rights Act, no Democrat in the South will get elected ever again. Now, that's a little bit of hyperbole, but the reality is that the Democratic Party has virtually ceded the entire South of the country because a president, by the way, he's said to be the president that used the N-word in the Oval Office more than anybody else.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Racist.
Straight racist.
Johnson was a racist. Let's be clear about it.
Johnson who?
Lyndon Baines Johnson,
Lyndon Baines
LBJ. But you know what? Martin Luther King and others used him as a tool. And we got some stuff because we used him as a tool. But he was saying to King and to the civil rights activists, listen, even if I agree with you, if you don't create the groundswell that forces me to do it, I'm going to stand out on a limb by myself and I'm going to get my head cut off and the entire party will lose. And you're not even speaking to the people on the other side of the political spectrum because you know they're not interested in that. And that's what the problem is. That's the problem of being MAGA adjacent. Because what they do is they train all of their fire on people who are either your family or distant cousins. They don't talk about the people outside that want you dead. The people outside that literally say, as Trump said about slavery, this is what he said about the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian is out of control, where everything discussed is how horrible our country is, how bad slavery was, and how unaccomplished the downtrodden have been. Nothing about success, nothing about brightness, nothing about future. Now, I want to be really clear. I have led tours of the Smithsonian. I've been there many times myself.
I've probably seen a
I
video.
would argue that they focus a lot more on the things that we've done and succeeded on than on enslavement. And the reality is, enslavement is the original sin.
That's
Enslavement and the annihilation of the Native American are the original sin that created this white supremacist nation. And we need to hold them accountable for it. We need to fight every day against them. And when we have one side of the political spectrum that's trying to say that that stuff isn't bad, look at Florida. Florida, a red state. They're saying, we don't focus on the fact that slaves got skills. They trying to make enslavement sound like it was an internship. The rape of your great-grandmother was an internship. They got some skills. It wasn't all that bad. That's the direction they're going in. We should be holding them accountable. The problem is that the only people that we have any influence on are in the Democratic Party. It would be wonderful.
I said that.
No, Abba, you got some explaining to do.
I've done all of the explaining.
I didn't
so
hear an
let me tell you what Jabari is
People
doing.
that you are supporting.
No, I don't support. Don't
Jabari
do that.
is
Don't do that.
How'd you
Don't do
not
that,
support
son.
that?
Don't do that, son.
No, I'm asking you, bro.
So I don't
What
support
about the
them.
little hat? I saw a little red hat up there. I saw it. I seen it.
I'm sitting here, right, and I'm listening because I plan on taking, that step into politics. And I know that debating is a part of, redirecting all of these different things and making appeals to emotions, pathos, right? So this is what Jabari is doing. He's weaving in, he's weaving in a pathos argument, an appeal to emotion, to speak about the rape of your grandmother while consistently trying to call me MAGA adjacent at the same time, no matter how many times I repudiate that stance. Okay, so.
Repudiate what? The MAGA?
The stance, yes, that I'm MAGA adjacent.
Oh, you're repudiating that you're MAGA adjacent.
That's right.
Not the MAGA.
See, he just did it.
Did you see that?
See, he just
Did you
did it.
see that?
He just did it.
Did you see that?
Look, he just did it.
Did you see that?
I like,
Okay, go ahead.
When I get elected, I want this
That's
brother
the
as my press.
problem. That's the problem.
Look, I want him as my press secretary.
Wow.
Because that's not what I did, but he just tried to make me do that. Right? So I'm sitting here peeping all of this.
Wow. Okay.
He keeps ignoring the fact that the Democrats don't want to do reparations. I proved it, right? I gave sources. You can talk about what I brought up, what Tommy Tuberville said. We know what the right is saying, but on this topic of reparations, Biden was urged by 400 lawmakers and activists and scholars and academics to act on this thing, and he said no. On the debate stage, on that, not this last one, the one before last, the 2019-2020 run, the question of reparations was asked. Why? It was because of the groundswell of this movement right here. That's why I told people, go look prior to 2019-2020 how many co-sponsors it was. And then how many co-sponsors it was starting from that point up until now. And then people are going to see. See, when people start fact-checking this video, they're going to look and see, and they're going to say, Lord Abba was right. Jabari is good. You know, you're skilled at this. I'm going to give you your props on that. But just to get back to the point about Joe Biden, when he was asked the question of reparations, I remember Pete Buttigieg went before him. And Pete Buttigieg, first he talked about what everybody talked about, supporting the study. But then he talked about acting on those findings. He gave an actual sound answer to the question. When Joe Biden, Jim Crow Joe Biden, was asked the same question, on to you, Joe Biden, he said, well, you know, I've not really touched on this topic before, so let me touch on it. He started talking, he didn't mention anything about reparations. Jim Crow Joe Biden, whom I assume you voted for, said that we have to start cherry picking the brightest and the best from around the world. This was his answer to reparations, to come over here, because this is what America does. And that we need to get behind the Hispanics. This was Jim Crow Joe Biden's response to reparations. In another debate, same question about reparations came up. Jim Crow Joe Biden said, the children just need to hear more words. Put on the phonograph, the record player at night. Jabari has a blind spot. When it comes to this particular topic, myopia sets in, right? Because he's trying to paint a picture of me as being MAGA adjacent, and he weaves in, and I love the way he does it, though. Don't get me wrong. It's just that, you know, I peep game. I am a master debater. And I peep what he's trying to do. I peep his abuses of the doctrine of the fallacies. And I respect it to a degree, just not when it's pointed at me, of course, right? But he's not bringing that up. And I want to close this statement out with my ultimate stance of why I voted for Trump. Is what I said when we first started recording, before Jabari even came. It was, we had to get the Democrats out the paint, because those are the people that are in our way. And that we must become the power ourselves. We must become the elected officials. We must become the political operatives. We must become the political organizers.
No, wait.
The American freedmen. My people. That's from here.
So you're becoming an elected official. What party are you running under?
We don't know yet. We don't know yet.
Do you believe what he just said? Do you see how he stopped for a second?
That's right. I paused. That's a fact, because this is a discussion that we have in the Twitter sphere. And so you wait. Let me answer. So you have some people that say half of us should run on the Democratic side. You have other people that say half of us should run on the Republican side. I am of the thinking now, I once abandoned this thought, that we just need to form a third party. That's why I paused. And anybody that follows me, especially on Twitter, will tell you that that's exactly what my thinking is. That's what the pause was about.
The challenge is this. There have been many, many attempts to create a third party in the United States. Mm-hmm. None of them have truly been successful.
That's right.
Particularly because the way that the United States political system works, it's the system that's to the winner goes the spoils. So if you get 50.5% of the electorate, you get all of the power. If we were in a system, a parliamentary system, we would actually be able to have people who don't get 50.5%, to be able to at least have some people to represent them. In a parliamentary system, you have many, many parties. in the United States democratic system, the way that we actually proportion power based on the electorate creates problems for a third-party system. And there have been many movements. I've even worked with the Working Families Party in New York State to try to get them. When there's someone who is on either the Democratic or Republican line who I agree with,
said the rent too high.
He was
with that party, right?
That party too. Yeah, I will try to vote on the Working Party line. When I voted for. Unfortunately, I did vote for Mayor Adams. I don't think that he was very good. I did vote for him. But I voted for him on the Working Party line. I didn't vote for him on the Democratic line because I want the Working Party to become stronger in New York State, New York City, so that we will have a viable third choice. But the reality is that to be able to create a third party, we're talking about a long-term proposition. For a third party to become powerful in the United States, it could take decades. And we are seeing one of the parties train their cannons on black people, on brown people, on working class people. We don't have time to be able to put all of our efforts into creating a party that might actually exist 30 years from now. And that's unfortunate. That's how the American system was.
No, I don't disagree with you.
And I
just want to be clear. I don't disagree with nothing.
I think it's a problem. But the fact that he's not sure what party he's going to run in says that he might even run with the party of people who are calling themselves Nazis. He might run with the party of people who are actually saying that slavery wasn't that bad. He is running. Do you know that there's a Republican, I think it even passed, a Republican bill that says that you can't teach the 1619 Project with any federal dollars in a school?
Did
you
it
know
pass?
that? I think it passed, right? Tom Cotton's bill.
Yeah, I believe that was
I think it
Cotton's
actually
bill.
passed. So just recognize that one side is not even talking about how to restore.
She got some things wrong too, Jabari. I just want to say she got some things wrong in there.
There's some things in there, but you could do that with any book. There are any books that you could disagree with her perspective. But the reality, I mean, I even think that we should not even be looking necessarily at the date of 1619.
That's a fact. I wanted to let you go, but
I understand.
That's right. That's right.
But the reality is, the things that happened before 1619 were largely before the British got hold of this land. And the British and their descendants are the people who are in control of the United States. That's why the number 1619 is important. Can we look at what the Spanish did in trying to bring enslaved people into the United States? Sure, we could do that, right? And we can look at Allion. I'm a historian. I could tell you that better than most people. But I'm saying the concept of focusing on 1619 makes sense, right? But on the Republican side, you know that when the 1619 Project came out, Trump said that he was going to create the 1776 Project. Did you know that?
I knew that.
Did you know that the Republican Party has actively tried
we said that first.
Undermine, and you should
that we should
upset about
create
that.
no.
My bad, I was on mute. Peace and Black Power, everybody. The link is in the chat in case anybody would like to come in and ask a couple of questions about this, what's going on. And I got 6 donations. I appreciate it. 6 people came through. You are the true supporters. 6 people came through. I mean, I appreciate it. Treville, shout out to you, Treville. Bellamy, thank you, Bellamy. Roosevelt, shout out to you, Roosevelt. Humphrey, of course. MB, Maurice B. You know who I'm talking about. All right. And Marcel, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's better than nothing. I appreciate the donations. Anybody would like to come up, the link is in the chat. We can continue. Lord Abba, if you out there, hit the link, Lord Abba. It might be something you forgot to say, something you forgot to mention. With my boy sa.neter. Something y'all forgot to say. Let's get it in. I'm only going to be here for a minute. In case y'all don't want to come in, that's cool. I'll play the other parts tomorrow. Y'all. Okay, nobody want to come through? Going once? Nobody want to come through? I want to tell y'all, I'm gonna tell you, I got something good for y'all coming up this Sunday. Is a sister. She ain't no joke, man. She wrote a book called It's Your Fault. And she's bigging up. She going at the sisters. She's going at the sisters hard. And she's built for this platform. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. She is built for this platform. She's built for the smoke. She's been watching sa.neter for a while. And y'all better be ready. I know a lot of brothers gonna agree with her, and some women is gonna agree with her. Not all, because she's going in on the sisters. And we're gonna see if it's true or not. So y'all better be ready for her. Let me tell you her name. Let me get it. I'm trying to look for her name. And she have a new book out. Make sure y'all get that book. Let me see. Where's she at? Where's she at? Oh, all right. Angela Moulton. Her name is Angela Moulton. And what is her book? All right, that's yeah, I'm gonna give you her book. All right, yeah. She is a sister like Shahrazad Ali 2.0, and she adores her in the late Kevin Samuels. Okay.
Oh yeah, I need that. I need that book.
Oh yeah, no, you don't even know what the book is yet. And she's ready for all the smoke. All right, I gave her your number, and she's gonna call you. Well, I spoke to the sister today. The name of her book is Dr. Angela Moulton, and her book is called It's All Your Fault.
You said the title of the book already, son.
Oh, I said all right. Her name is her book is Holding Women Accountable, and she is educated and raw with it. Woo, man. She's a school teacher. A college school teacher, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, Lord Abba, you're gonna love her. You're gonna love her, Lord Abba.
Did Jabari say I was the manosphere corrupted my mind?
Yeah. Hey yo,
that
man.
was funny.
Ooh, he's bad. I mean, the conversation I had with her earlier, man, I said I need this sister on the platform now. Right now, today. I wish it was the day. But anyway, Lord Abba, what's happening with you, brother?
What's going on, Si? Shout out to the family, man. I hope you all enjoyed the political discussion. It seemed like, I was watching the audience. Of course, the peanut gallery is going to always have its haters. So you got to give a shout out to the haters because they also keep the platform moving, right?
Well,
they bring the numbers, so we welcome the haters. I
still got another hour to show, but
okay. So I just wanted to give a shout out to my brother Jabari. It's good that we finally had a sit down and we were able to have a discussion. And for me, I hope that everybody gets from this that we need to be at the table together. We could have political disagreements, but a lot of times our political disagreements are party adjacent. They're not, our people
they're not necessarily our people adjacent, and I know because I be on Twitter all the time.
Break that down for me again. What is the mega adjacent? Because y'all Jabari kept saying that.
It's adjacent pretty much means
it's adjacent.
Yes, adjacent. Like it just means like next to something.
Spell it.
Adjacent pretty much means next to something. So when people are using it in the context, it's like let's just say I start rocking some red, black, and green, but I was saying I wasn't a Pan-African. Everybody would be like, nah, Lord Abba is now Pan-African adjacent. I always be seeing him with that red, black, and green.
I never really heard that term, man. Damn.
Yeah. So, you know, for us on this side of things, we are looking for political unity. I said this at the end of our discussion. I don't know if you're going to show that part, but if you go back and you look at all of the videos that I've ever done on sa.neter, the debate with Ali Muhammad, because I'm solutions-based, I always tried to end it with, we need political unity. So yes, having theological debates about the Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, the Quran, Kemet, etc., that's cool, right? Because that's academic. With the science, that's academic. This political discussion is different because we've been taught that politics was this thing that was a white man's sport and that we had no involvement in it. But during the discussion with me and Jabari, I brought up a book. I brought up Eric Foner. He's the foremost scholar of Reconstruction. And he wrote two books that I love. One is called Reconstruction, and the other one is called The Second Founding. And in the book Reconstruction, chapter 7, he's speaking to, after our people get emancipated in this country, how we take a religious-like fervor to politics. Just think about when you was on your toughest, hard Black Power thing. This is how we was in 1865 and 1866 and 1867. We have to get back to that. Point blank, period. Because most of what we know is just knowledge. Its application is mainly used in discourse or correcting what white supremacists, occidentalists, academics are saying bad about our people. But it's not moving us toward any power. And this is why our platform, Be the Power, is necessary. I'm hoping that in having discussions with Jabari, if he's watching, especially the discussion that we had, and he goes back and looks at some of the stuff that I was bringing up, he's going to say, you know what, Lord Abba is actually right about this. And we start having more broader political discussions because it's needed. We need power in this nation. And my team and I believe that we have a blueprint to gain that power or acquire that power.
Hey, yo, how important is it for our people to get more politically inclined with what's going on in the world, man?
Well, again, just to go back to what I said about after slavery, we had a religiosity to our political involvement. We have to get back to that. This means that we have to understand civics, our rights and duties as citizens in the country that we're in. When we have a full understanding of that, then we get to understand the rest of what's going on in the world. We can break down that President Trump and the administration did not have the constitutional authority to go into Venezuela and extract their president as if he was hustling on the block out in Queens or Spanish Harlem somewhere, right? And then bringing him to the same jail that Diddy in right now. You see? So we would have a greater understanding of that, and more of our people would become politically active, meaning they would themselves run for office. Our activism needs to start shifting toward politics, in my opinion.
Okay. Is it anything that you may have forgotten to drop while you was on the show, or that you failed to bring up?
Well, it was a lot, because what I wanted to do.
Talk about some of it.
I wanted to stick to certain points because I didn't want to get into the weeds. I wanted to keep the main thing. I wasn't trying to escape the Donald Trump conversation like Jabari said. That I wanted it titled "The Future of Black Politics" for a reason, because I knew we wasn't just going to stay on that one topic. So what is the future of Black politics? But there were so many things. I could have brought up, when Jabari was speaking about third parties, for instance, I could have brought up how our beloved elder, sa.neter Dr. Cornel West, ran on a third party ticket. It was the Democrats that sued certain states so that he could not be on the ticket, so that he would not, in their minds, dilute the vote, because the Democratic Party believes that our people have to vote Democrat. Jim Crow Joe Biden said it. If you don't vote for me, you're not Black. What type of statement is that? But this is what the Democrats believe. See, I could have brought stuff like that up, but I didn't want to get into it because Jabari is slick. And I was really sitting there listening to him. It's different when you're on the camera, right? But when you're in person and you got to think on your feet, you know what I'm saying? It's different. So I'm sitting there and I'm assessing his debate style in real time, while I'm also thinking of my responses to his questions, and also what I'm not going to say, because I don't want to veer off into other topics and try to keep the main thing. You on mute, Si? Oh, okay. Yeah, man. So that was basically it, man. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Go to our website, usadof.org, and we're launching a new Be the Power website soon. We are making a push for our people to really become politically active. No more talking about it. It's time for us to be about it. Point blank, period.
What do you think about our brother Dr. Reggie's political what did he call it?
The Black City Plan.
Yeah, the Black City Plan. Have you read it? What do you think about it?
We've read
it, or should he update it now?
We've read Reggie's plan years ago, me and my team. The problem is Reggie, he doesn't want to listen. Reggie is too combative, and you know that, Si. And instead of updating the plan, right? Because the only thing he has to do is just simply read the book that I showed during the discussion, which was The Devil You Know by Charles Blow. Charles Blow is a Pan-Africanist. And if Reggie reads that book, he can still do his Black City plan. There's issues with Reggie's plan because he believes that the cities have the power when in fact the states have the power over the cities. And we know this. Mississippi gives us the greatest snapshot in this instance because, well, we know what happened during their water crisis. We know what happened during COVID and how they were the powers that be in the state of Mississippi were trying to block COVID funding from going to the citizens of Jackson, who are predominantly American freedmen, AKA Black folk. We know what happened with Brett Favre and them diverting federal monies to build Brett Favre's daughter a volleyball court. And what else was it? Money to Ted DiBiase. Remember the wrestler, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase? This is who they gave the money to, while our people in a state that already has one of the lowest, or I guess highest poverty rates in the country, were starving. They were diverting those funds. So, you know, that's the problem that I have with Brother Reggie's plan. He's not going to listen to me.
Peace, brother.
What's going on, Elder Suntan?
Hey, dig this here. I love where you're going with this, but our people, man, has been, I'll put it like this, and I got to do it with a broad blanket. Our people has been, you know, we've been put down and a foot been on our neck so long that with politics, brother Abba, it takes money, right? And the people with money is not willing to put it in the places it needs to be for a situation like you all got, because you guys probably got a strong head, as I don't know how y'all family is, you know, your group built up and all that, and y'all probably have a little bit of money. However, it takes a lot of money in politics, right? Well, what I mean by that, Lord, Abba, to get your foot through the door, right? Because once the foot through the door, then you are able to make these political moves. And like I said, only thing I can say, Brother Abba, is keep on trying, because I just used one incident, man. I stay in Detroit. I don't know what city you stay in. We got a suburb called Farmington Hills, right? We got prominent people live out there, and they go from downtown to Farmington Hill. Our prominent people, they passed all the boondocks and all the smaller parts of the ghetto where people were really struggling, right? So they had gas stations asking for a few dollars, a few of them. And, you know, I knock it and I don't knock it, because I give to them sometimes. But these same people with the money, Brother Abba, turn their nose up at these people. And that's, you know, see, we said this whole situation we in is not by, you know, it been set up to be like this. You know, it is not by just, you know, how you want to say it. It's not, this just didn't happen. This was set up. And I know you know that because you're real smart.
Let me say this, Elder, and shout out to you, brother. I was watching Dave Chappelle stand up 2 weeks ago, and I see that he's taking this activist position.
Yeah.
And, you know, over the next 2 days, I thought about Chappelle, and I thought about the Democratic Party. And this is what I was trying to explain to Jabari. And I tweeted this. I said, the only problem that I have is that the Democrats are going to get in our way. People like Dave Chappelle that is willing to put money into movements should be putting that money into our movements. But he doesn't know it. He doesn't know us.
Right.
The mainstream, now you got to think, the mainstream, even if it's Democratic mainstream, the liberal mainstream media, they're never going to have a person like me on unless they're trying to trap me up or get me in a, you know, gotcha and all of that type of stuff. Yeah. Right?
Right.
So that the platform can be elevated.
That's why I was saying you gotta get your foot through the door.
That's a fact. Once people hear what you have to say, like Ice Cube, let's use Ice Cube, for example. A few years ago, he came up with the plan for Black America. Roland Martin brought Ice Cube onto his platform. Roland Martin had Alicia Garza, I think it was, one of the Black Lives Matter women, waiting on deck. And in the middle of the conversation, Roland Martin brings her in and ambushes the brother Ice Cube. This chick basically told Ice Cube, get in the back of the line. And Ice Cube said, yo, hold on, I ain't getting in back of nobody line.
Right.
And this is the relation that we as men have with this Democratic Party, to whereas it becomes this bad relationship, if you will. And it's problematic. And so now our voices get drowned out. And a person like Chappelle, instead of coming to those of us in the grassroots, I know you got somebody on side. Let me say this. We have legislation that we wrote, that we authored in the state of Massachusetts, that's about to be passed and signed and then signed into law. That Office of Freedmen Affairs in the state of Massachusetts will be a line item in the state of Massachusetts' budget, which means that we can start divvying resources to the American freedmen in the state of Massachusetts. This is the work that we're doing. Nobody don't really know about this stuff. Elder Son said, this is huge. You know why? Because slavery begins in Massachusetts. The slavery that we know. Look up the Bodies of Liberty Doctrine.
I thought it was West Virginia too.
Yeah, everybody thinks that, but no, the Bodies of Liberty Doctrine in the state of Massachusetts. I want everybody to look that up right now. The other one is Jim Crow, started in Massachusetts.
Okay.
So what we're doing is monumental for our people there. And it's not hardly getting any coverage. And so we got to go around the internet, and shout out to the people that opened their platforms up to, that's right, brother, son, saying the money. And it's that, you know, we don't have the money. We're mainly working on our own dime. and we're just regular working men and women like everybody else.
Oh, right. Check this out. Jabari was more light with you, but he was still getting it in with you.
Oh yeah,
Brother that's on the screen right now, he is definitely politically educated. He can give you some pushback. I want you to know that this brother, 7, is a Republican.
I already know 7 or so coming up here. I already know.
Hold on. 7 or so. I just got to give him a little history of who you are. Brother Lord Abba is a Republican.
No, I'm not a Republican. Yo, Sa is crazy.
You're no Republican no more?
He's probably conservative now.
This dude Sa is
You
crazy.
voted for Trump, brother. You went for Trump.
This dude Sa is crazy. I am not a Republican. I am not a Democrat.
So why
I
you
am not an
voted for Trump?
independent. I do not have any party affiliation whatsoever.
And you don't regret voting for Trump, you say?
No. I
Okay,
don't.
unleash, man. You got the floor, brother. Hey, hold up. Shout out to my little bro, Dr. Reggie in the building. Dr. Reggie, shout out to my little brother, Dr. Reggie.
What Reggie talk about?
Reggie said, I am on the city bus. Laugh out loud. Lord Abba doesn't understand.
Oh, God. Okay, sure.
All right.
I don't. Hey, real quick, y'all visit my website, usadof.org. Several articles have been written by several members. And I want you to find the article that says, what is reparations? I wrote that article, and it was edited by one of the top socio-economists in the country. Chill out, Reggie. You out your league on this one, bro.
All right, let's go. 7 assault. You got the floor, brother.
Yeah, I want to say peace to Lord Abba.
Peace, brother, man.
Peace to you, brother sa.neter, and to you, brother Santan, and everybody in the chat. I want to say, Lord Abba, first that, man, I am with you, brother. I support you in your efforts with fighting for the reparations for our community. And I appreciate your critique. I think your critique is important. I agree with a bulk of what you say when it comes to that. Even the Democratic Party, I'm on your side with your arguments against them. But what I think you're missing in that aspect of because I disagree with some of the things that Jabari says, but his main point I agree with is that if we're going to caucus with anybody, it would be with the Democrats because they're willing to listen. I think it's just a political strategy that we use when we caucus with the Democrats, right? We shouldn't be Democrats. We should caucus with Democrats, right? To create to get what our community needs. If you look at all the other communities that caucused with the Democrats, right? Like the LGBTQ community, the Latino community, the Asian community, the Jewish community, they all get things done because they have a political power unified within their communities. And that's something that we didn't have, which I think was purposely designed through our enslavement, indoctrination, and the division that's in our communities, right? But so we can't, when you voted for Trump, because I'm going to get on you about you still don't regret from voting him. I'm going to get on you about that.
All right, go ahead.
But what I want you to understand is how important it is for people like yourself who has a voice, who have people who listen to you, and when they go and vote for Trump, the policies, his moral character, and his agendas don't align with anything in our communities, right? And even though you're not for most of what the Republicans do, by you supporting the Republican agenda and adverse to what the Democrat agenda is, it creates a false narrative that the Republicans are better for us than the Democrats, right? And we can see, now let's get to you on you saying that you don't regret voting for Donald Trump. What policies have Donald Trump rang true, not just for the country, but no, for the country and for the Black community, that you can say in this whole year that he's not only has he achieved in a positive, but hasn't reversed us in the negative? And I'll let you respond to that.
All right. And that's great. And first and foremost, I respect everybody's critique, right? As long as we're keeping it respectful, we're past the stage of all of the bravado and all of that stuff, especially on this platform. On Twitter, It's a different story. We be popping our junk on Twitter. But to answer your question, immigration, right? I first moved to Georgia in 2007. And it was a quote unquote black and white thing, right? Because that's what the South is. You don't really see Mexicans in the Southeast in 2007. You see them starting in that southern Midwest region like Texas, all the way to the West Coast. That's be considered Little Mexico, if you will. I started to notice that my children's elementary schools in Athens, Georgia, were, they were black and white. And then, it was always a couple Mexican kids there. By the time they graduated from elementary school, it was a third, if I'm using the proper math, right? Mexicans, Hispanics, and our people. Then I started to notice that after the recession, all of the construction sites were largely filled with Hispanics. And the only jobs that the freedmen got, our people got, were through temp agencies, where unlike the Hispanics that were getting $15, $16 an hour, they were only getting $8 and $9 an hour through the agency. Naturally, if that's the only way you can get put onto a job, you're gonna either try to get on another way, or you're gonna leave that market. Hispanics became disproportionately overrepresented in the construction field, from Georgia to South Carolina to North Carolina, especially in Charlotte. I started to notice, and I'm in these three places specifically, that all of the construction sites were 90 to 95% Hispanic. Maybe you'd see a brother or two on the website. Since these deportations, I have seen a drastic change, brother. Since immigration policy, because you said policy has been enforced, when I drive through North Carolina, when I drive through Charlotte, when I drive through Raleigh, when I drive through parts of South Carolina, when I drive through parts of Georgia, I see now 70% freedmen, meaning quote unquote black folks, on these construction sites. And I always roll my window down and I give them a shout out, because they know why I'm shouting them out. So if you're asking me what policy that I think, because this is one of the main things that I voted for, and I'm gonna end with this. When I look in the quote unquote black South, and I don't see a quote unquote black strip mall or freedman strip mall where there's people from our background, brother, our ancestors who bled and died and went through the pain and suffering in this country, that I ain't saying they don't own businesses or they don't own stores. They don't own whole malls, right? Strip malls. They don't own the auto mechanic shop across the street from that strip mall. It's just Jose. They don't own the Martellini's bar. We barely see this stuff when it comes to our people. So I'm telling you, brother, what I've witnessed with my own eyes was a shift of our people taking advantage of these areas of bringing in money that should have been ours in the first place. That's what I've seen.
I can agree with that.
Okay, Lord Abba, I actually like your response, because you actually have a reason why in one of your policies, because I said policies, but one of your policies, because I was going to say that immigration is the only policy that Donald Trump has rang true on. And it's really him closing the border. How he's handled immigration, I disagree with, but him closing the border and not allowing all of those people to come in, that was an issue. He dealt with that. But what you got to understand is when it comes to the black community and how that affected us, and where you see in your particular community, you saw some brothers getting some work, but do you know that the black community now is back to double unemployment rate right now than to whites right now? Underneath
Okay,
Biden,
so
we had to under the last year. Hold on, let me finish. I'll let you speak for a
all right.
minute. Underneath Biden in his last year, there was a record low of unemployment, not only in the country but also in our communities. Right? We had job growth, record job growth in that last year. And this last year with Trump in his first year, we've had record lows of job growth. When Doge did that massive layoffs, Black women were overwhelmingly affected by those layoffs. The black unemployment rate doubled, right? So even though immigration has stymied, right, the immigrants are coming in, Black unemployment hasn't improved. And when we look at the other policies that are affecting our community as well, like tariffs, right? Your coffee, you're paying more for your coffee. You're paying more for your beef. You're paying more for your energy, right? And then you got your tax dollars going to efforts that don't benefit you. If the big beautiful bill, which is the biggest transference of wealth from poor to rich, by cutting the supplemental nutrition plan, right? By cutting Medicaid, so poor and disenfranchised people who actually need that aid are going to be affected tremendously, right? This is what this president has and the people who suffer from that mainly are people in our communities, right? So we can't trade one policy for all of these other policies, right, that are detrimental to us. And I'm going to close with this. Yes, immigration is an issue for Black people now, but immigration has always been an issue for us. When we were liberated from slavery, that's when the labor unions were created, right? And they started actually allowing European immigrants to come in to replace the jobs that they weren't qualified to do, and we refused to build, right? During that Reconstruction era, we were building our own. During all of that, Lord Abba, you know history. You're a very intelligent brother. You know, even though they were doing all of that, we built our own communities. We had Black Wall Streets. When we were uninterrupted, we flourished. We need to get back to that, right? When there were segregation and the dollar was rotating in our communities 10, 15, 20 times in some cases, right? We flourished underneath this mass immigration of other people. So yeah, that policy aided us, but really the other policies trump that policy, right? We're still underwater. And I think that we need to be more tactical in how we keep the Democrats accountable, right? But not also give father and political currency for them to use against the Democrats to recruit some ignorant Black people who will vote Republican. I'll land my plane there, bro.
Indeed. So let me real quick, sa.neter, because I might forget the points that I already forgot. One of the points I was going to say, but on the unemployment, let me say this, right? I wrote an article on Substack. Y'all go to my Substack. I don't even know because it's fresh. I just started it last month. But look up my name, Naheem, N-Y-H-I-E-M. I wrote an article on the slaveocracy and how the United States of America still runs its system based on the slaveocracy, its employment system, its economy is still ran based on that model. And anybody could look up slaveocracy and they'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. And one of the things that I speak about is unemployment. And I speak about, we interviewed the father of modern monetary theory back in 2021, I believe it was. His name is Warren Mosley. And one of the things that he teaches on is that in an economy like ours, with the monetary sovereign, a federal job should be guaranteed, but it's not. Instead, they actually weaponize unemployment and they use it for market discipline. Now that's a deep conversation, and I don't want to take nobody into the weeds on that, but they use, and so but my point and purpose of bringing it up is that you have to have somebody to put in that place. That is a placeholder for how they do their checks and balances in this economy so that too much money is not flooding into the economy, which would then bring about inflation. Unemployment is one of the things that they use. This is an actual fact. I say that to say our people have historically had high unemployment numbers. When the unemployment rates rose in this country, of course, if it was already high for our people, and then it was high for everybody across the board, then it's going to look worse for our people. It's going to look worse for our people, right? If everybody witnessed the same level of unemployment, let's just hypothetically assume, because I don't know off the top of the head, and we are already high, then of course it's going to look like Trump made things worse for us as opposed to what many are saying tariffs is doing to the country. Now, that's one aspect. The second aspect is you brought up Black women losing their jobs. First, I want to say, I don't know, and this is anecdotal, and you could shoot it down, but I don't know one Black woman that lost their job. Everybody that's been working retail that I know still works retail. The women that I know that work in banks, etc., they still work there. So largely, these were government jobs that were being lost. And again, once those DEI programs got shut down, everybody lost their jobs. What the left does is they hyper-racialize stuff. And now, of course, we don't like racism. And so they use that. And they say, well, this is an attack on Black people, what Trump is doing and what the Republicans are doing. And we get in our emotions behind it because many of us are not politically savvy in the way that we should be, right? And now we're only looking at our people as opposed to the fact that DEI only represented 4% of our people. Point blank, period. DEI hires where that was utilized only represented 4%. This is a fact. Like, there's nuance to these conversations. And I think when we're being analytical outside of the mainstream media's control, we'll see these things a little bit better. And that's why we want to have these conversations more so that we can start looking at these things together. Even if you disagree with my politics, you might say, you know what, let me fact check Lord Abba on this and see. Like, oh, okay, well, that's right. Just like if you bring up something that I don't know, I'm going to be like, oh, I don't know that. Let me fact check that to see if it's, and now I know it because I went, behind you and I fact checked it. So, I forgot my other point that I was going to make, but I just kind of wanted to touch on that in response to what you're saying. I don't necessarily disagree with you. I think I don't know how the tariffs thing is going to play out. We dissected the Big Beautiful Bill Act on our platform and showed what the Congressional Budget Office said about it possibly hurting our people in the long run. And I will say, and end with this, I don't know nobody that has been affected by that personally. I don't know one person, but that's just me personally. I'm not saying that you won't probably find hundreds, thousands, or tens of thousands. That's it.
Let me say this right here, and I'll let you go, Seven. What people don't realize, and this is a kind of like a tricky dick thing I'm finna say, because people don't look at it. And both of you, I'm talking to both of you two guys. I'm just gonna make some numbers. For the last 4 years, all sports has been running, right? All sports. And I'm gonna tell you how it's germane to this, what I'm about to say, right? Football, soccer, everything, right? So everybody who makes the equipment for these sports, soccer, baseball, football, these equipment makers, man, who makes the pass, and those are year-round jobs for quote-unquote white people. Because you right now, Sar 7, you right now, Lord Advocate, none of y'all tell me who works in these factories that produce footballs, baseballs, pads, and all of these stuff. And it's big business. And that's what keeps them afloat from us. And they live on a premise of a false Christ situation where they said Christ is all in all. And did you see Charlie Kirk's funeral or his gathering? That whole auditorium was full of rich people, man. Rich white people, and they control the narrative. And they said they're gonna keep controlling this narrative because they got this right here.
Yeah, Suntan. Did you see how much money his wife got?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And she just got that.
That wasn't a funeral. That was a Republican political rally, brother.
Did you see how much money his wife got? We don't do that, man. We don't do none of that,
no,
bro.
we don't, Si. And that's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, she's a grifter, though.
What'd you say?
She's a
I'm
grifter.
trying to change that,
She's
man.
grifting.
My team's trying to change that.
And we can't no longer keep blaming slavery, brother, because we know about it. In 2026, damn near everybody on the planet know about slavery.
Yeah, that's old news.
We know about
Why
it.
don't black people say that? In 2026, everybody know about the Holocaust, but the Jews say never forget. But black people say, oh, let's stop talking about slavery. No, that's part of our history. That's part of what made who we are. We should never forget. We don't use it as a crutch, but we should never forget. We don't use it as a...
Hey, hold on. Did you think I said we need to forget about slavery?
No, what I said was that we don't use it as a crutch, but we cannot stop talking about slavery, my brother.
No,
so
no, hold on. Stop,
it's not about us abusing slavery.
Stop, brother. Stop, brother. Not one time did I say we need to stop talking about slavery, brother. Not one time. I said maybe it's because, what did I say? I said maybe it's because,
the effects of slavery.
Yes, but I never said we got to stop talking about slavery.
What you said, Elder sa.neter, I'm going to tell you exactly what you said.
What did you say, Sal? You're going to confuse me.
sa.neter said that we need to stop using slavery as an excuse. That's what you said.
Right. I said because all of us know it happened. So what I'm saying is to you, I'm talking about people like you, Lord Abba, me, Suntan. Stop using it as an excuse now because we know about what happened. What are we going to do about it? What we going to do now?
Do black people use it as an excuse or do they cite slavery?
Stop. No,
I think that's a good question.
No, stop for a minute. When you look at the Jewish people, they don't continue to use it as an excuse. They talk about it. They make you remember it. On the Holocaust, yo, we had a Holocaust. We don't do that. We just sit back and say, yo, we can't do that. And we cry like little punks and babies. We don't do nothing about it, bro.
Can I say this, y'all?
I disagree with you, sa.neter. I disagree.
You can disagree all you want, but we don't.
I'm going to tell you why, though. I'm going to give you the historical precedence of why.
For a minute. Let me say this. One thing, about that slavery and one thing about European, they have the Jews, the whole, all, even though they Jews, everyone have a light-skinned white past of this world. If you bright, light-skinned or white, you can pass, you can get back financially quicker than somebody look like me. That's all I'm saying. If you don't realize that, then you behind the 8 ball.
And the Jews have political power, sa.neter. See, that's what differentiates them from us. They're able to market their atrocity. They're able to use it as leverage. Right now, if you speak against the Israeli government, you will be labeled not against Jewish people, not against the religion, but the acts of the Israeli government. You will be labeled as an anti-Semitic.
Do you know why?
So you can't speak against them because they have political power
that we don't have.
Tell us why.
Hold up. Why are you blaming the Jews now because they got political power?
I blame the Jews. I didn't blame them.
Why are you blaming? When I'm saying blaming, you just told me what they got. The Jews got political power. They got this. They have what's more important. You know what they got?
Money.
No. What's
money?
This is divide. This is what? A fist. They got unity. Thank you. They got unity. We don't have that.
Why do they have unity and we don't?
I don't want you.
Can I speak to that real quick?
No. Hold on. Let me finish first. We don't have unity amongst each other. All we care about is self. We don't care about each other like that. You can't go into a Jewish community and hurt one of them, shoot down one of their babies, and they're going to sit back and march and do all that. No, they want something to go down. They want something to happen. You see, we'll march and sit back down like if nothing happened. And not all of us will even come out. We don't care about each other like that. There's no goddamn love. And yes, you can shake your head all you want. Brother, I've been on this planet for 62 goddamn years. Have you been in the movement? I've been in the movement, brother. I've seen this. I've witnessed it. We don't have that unity. You had black people fighting the Black Panthers. You had black people going up against Dr. Khaled. What are you talking about? I'm talking about elected officials. I'm talking about reverends and preachers. Do you know what it took for Khaled to get the Million Youth March in Harlem? He had to go through a lot of black Negroes.
I was there.
Fighting them. When you look at, yo, listen, when I was on the street, don't you know I had black women? The majority of my haters came from the sisters. And I was out there telling them, Lord Abba, no. I was out there telling them how beautiful you are. I said, you started this whole thing on life. You know, every nationality come from you. I used to be out there going in, and they used to hate on that, going in on me. Oh, brother, you a racist. Oh, I'm telling you, brother, I've experienced it. I've seen it. So we don't have the unity like the Jewish people had. And that's what I mean. I'm going to close out. And that's what I meant when I say we all know it happened during slavery. Why are we not doing nothing about it? The Jews know it happened during their little Holocaust, but they're doing something about it. You see? That's what I mean by that.
Let me just real quick. Because look, I understand what you're saying, Si. It just sounded a little crazy. That's all. It sounded a little crazy.
Yeah, it could have. Yeah.
You know, I believe that we have the same unity as everybody else, Si. When I look at the right-wing political spectrum right now, the Groyper movement, listen, Si. The Groyper movement, they call themselves America First. Look, Si, look. They call themselves America First. They're beefing with the other aspects of the right wing. What's his name? What's his name? It's right there on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, all of these people are beefing with each other. The Tucker Carlsons, all of them people, those white people, and they're going at the Jews. They're going at the Ben Shapiro's and the Mark Levines. There's a division that's going on politically, Si. So this idea that all of these people are just together, now don't get me wrong. When it's governmental, we see a different machine moving, right? But these people are fighting each other right now. And I say that to say that there's divisions among all groups. And I understand your sentiments, Si, because I kind of feel what you're feeling. Them other people didn't go through for 379 years, which included slavery, which included Jim Crow, which included redlining, racial covenants, and all of the bank and financial discrimination and the things that we went through. So that should be impetus. The onus should be placed on us to say, yo, we went through something different, so we should be in the same boat together, locked arms, locked in fists, ready to fight against these beasts. So I don't get me wrong. I understand you on that. But the other part I think that we forget is that we're just all humans as well.
Yeah. But let me, LSB, you funny. sa.neter, you are Puerto Rican. No, let me say this to you. Let me say this to you, man. My father is Puerto Rican. If I was to go into a Puerto Rican community, do you think they would accept me as their own? No. I've been amongst our people, African Americans, all my goddamn life. I don't speak Spanish, right? I don't look like Puerto Rican.
You do.
I might have some Puerto Rican hair. And all
Who's
that.
that?
Yeah, what's going on?
Puerto Ricans are Africans and Tainos
I know what they
that
are.
were born in America.
I know what they are already. I already know. I know. All right. So they call me Afro Puerto Rican, Afro Rican, or something like that. I don't know. But listen, man.
So you're an African American, yo. But thanks for the fight.
African American, man. That's what I am. So
That's right. That's what I recognize you as,
when you start,
Not no more, yo.
Exactly what he is.
I don't recognize that no more, yo.
when you start telling people, that's why sometimes we got to be careful about telling our shit to these niggas, man. Boy, they will try to get you with this, man. All the time.
They will.
They throw this up in your face. You ain't.
Hey, but let me just say one thing, sa.neter.
Say that again.
Let me just say one thing.
Yeah,
I just want to say that most of what Lord Abba was saying is actually what I was going to say, because it's the context. What you say, like Lord Abba, I agree with you. The division in our community is our number one enemy. Not everything else. Our division in our community is the number one thing that is holding us back, right? But when you look at the context of what Lord Abba outlined, it explains why we have that division, right? Now that we know why we have that division, we have to fight more to unify. You know, it's harder for us to unify. You know, it's easier for the Jews to unify. It's easy for the Hispanics to unify. But in every community, the number one people who steal and kill and do all the crimes against each other is the people that you live amongst. So white people kill more white people, Hispanics kill more Hispanics, and blacks kill more blacks. That's in all communities. There's unity and disunity in all communities. Ours is just a special case because of the context of our history is why the division is so detrimental and hard to move away from.
And another thing, you know why they have the unity? Because they don't have an identity crisis like we do. See, what's stopping us from having that strong unity is, and I know people say, no, it ain't that. Yes, it is. It's the religions that's in our community, brother. That's why you will not see a Muslim and a Hebrew. You don't see that. A Muslim, you don't see the Nation of Islam and Israelites coming together in unity and fighting for. No, they separate.
But why is that, Si?
Huh?
Why is that? Because one
in that Bible that they believe in.
Yeah, no. Because let me say this.
You ask me a question. The Quran says, take not the Christians and the Jews as your friends. It don't? You said it don't say that? Are you saying no to that?
You gotta contextualize this stuff, Si. Because
what it is, it's that goddamn religion.
Wait, let me say, Si, let me say this real quick.
The only thing, though.
Let me say this.
One of the things that's in our way.
The Quran teaches tolerance. It calls the Christians and the Jews people of the book. The Quran tells you if you can't find you a good Muslim wife, then take your wife from among the Jews and the Christians. I'm willing to bet that the brothers in the Nation of Islam would accept any unification with the Hebrew Israelites.
Yeah, but
I'm willing to bet
accept them.
But look, I'm willing to bet the Hebrew Israelites using that white man's Bible won't accept unity with the brothers from the Nation of.
I agree with you, Lord Abba. Yes, I agree with you now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're right.
So you're gonna throw the show. Come on,
Hold on, brother. Let me bring Unc in here. Unc was first. Unc, what up? Turn on your camera. It's dark.
Come out the dark, Unc.
Yo, Unc, man, calling on Unc. All right, go ahead, Dub.
What's up, brother sa.neter?
What's up, man?
Man, I'm proud, man. Thank you for doing this politics, man. I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, I got to get sa.neter up in here next on the political. I want him and going up against Misunderstood.
Yeah.
Asa.
I'm sorry I missed the show, man.
Yeah, I'll hit you up later and I'll give you my schedule.
Yeah, she loves some Donald Trump, bro. God damn.
Yeah, she needs to be pressed hard on it, because I think that when you have people like her and when you put yourself in the fray, you have to deal with all the muck, right? So she has to, I know that was her show and you was kind of soft on her, but there were a lot of points that she didn't elaborate on. She was just blindly quoting misinformation from left-wing news media, and she wasn't giving us a deep dive of why Black people should support Trump, right? Like even Lord Abba reasonably, touted a policy, but he admitted to the fails of the administration, right? And the things that he don't agree with, and he actually was able to articulate it. She's not able to do so, so she needs to be held accountable.
All right. That's the hey, I respect the comment, but it's off. It's crazy. And you said, Sa, you can't. You said, Sa, being Puerto Rican, you can't have an identity crisis because you know where you come from. No, the hell I don't. I don't know what part of Africa I come from. Don't forget, I got two parents. I know where my father come from, but I never came from there. I was always with my mama, right? So no, I don't know what part of Africa I come from, brother. So just because my father was Puerto Rican, don't mean that I'm from Puerto Rico. No, man, it don't go like that. Right. And I know the Hebrews teach that you are what your father is. That's not what everybody teach. Some people teach that you are what your mother is. What about you, Lord Abba? They say the father carries the seed. I understand all of that.
And again, it's based on somebody's doctrine, right?
Right.
So in the white man's book, let's call it, because that's what the Bible is. Yeah. They said that in the Old Testament. Then in slavery, when they started raping our grandmothers, our great-great-grandmothers during slavery, and they had children by them, and they began to realize that an inheritance can go to those children, they switched it and said the status of the child is the status of the mother. You see? So I don't believe in none of that stuff.
Right. Absolutely.
What you got for us, huh?
Absolutely, Lord Abba.
Calling on Unc again. Calling on Unc once again.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me
now, brother? I hear you now.
All right. So you make the point that we don't stick together and how you was outside on 125th and
you've been there many times. You've seen it.
Yeah, people won't. But watch this though. But you got a lot of different people coming at African Americans. You got people claiming to be Black Hebrew Israelites. So most people ain't going for that. You beating up their Jesus Christ and they Christian. They ain't gonna go for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's not that we don't stick together. The Moors running around, how about they the Moors or something, and the Nation of Islam. So you had a whole bunch of pseudoscientific ideas that most African Americans just wasn't going for. So it wasn't that they wasn't willing to come together. They just wasn't willing to come together on that scramble, jamble.
Don't forget the atheism. Don't forget the atheism.
No, that's a different conversation. That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
No. See, y'all trying to mess it up. I'm saying is you're talking about somebody's like believing and not believing. That's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about these doctrines. Atheism is not a doctrine. It's just a denial that what you're saying is the God of the universe. That's all it is.
No.
That's all it is. Come on, Abba, let me finish my point, though.
Let me finish my point. I ain't gonna mess with you.
No, you can't. I want you to mess with me. Let me finish my
point,
man. It's not, man. What is wrong with y'all, man? It's like y'all, you know what? Sometimes I feel like niggas just can't read. And I'm saying, yo, I can't be the only person that can read on this motherfucker. I might stumble through words, but I comprehend the words. Because if you read what the definition is, only y'all say that. The definition don't say it. The actual thing don't say it. So where are y'all getting this from? Y'all not getting it from nowhere. I want to finish my point. And so most people ain't going for none of that. When I talk about science and science literacy, that has not been steeped in our community. Nobody actually led with that. So it's not that people are not willing to unify under that banner. It's that they just don't understand it at all. So go ahead with the atheist thing y'all about to mess up on purpose. Because y'all refuse to read documentation on it. Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead, Abba.
Oh yes, okay. So let me just say real quick, right? Because Unc is leaving out stuff as usual. We've been doing this for years. Atheism starts in the Greek school of thought, a sect of Greek thinking. Today it has a definition. Today it has a definition. So the idea that it is not as sectarian as the MST of A or Morris Science Temple of America is crazy. You can't get that off of me, Ark. You already know that.
All right, no, stop right there. Now,
You
make your
know that.
point.
You can't
No,
get it
make your
off on
point.
me.
Hold on,
The
make
point
your point.
made. I
No,
don't
no.
debate
So
on
you
it, but the
made your
point made.
no. You made your point, which
The
you
point
can't
made.
find nowhere in written literature. You won't find that in written literature. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? You just
Okay,
made
I
it
got
up.
you.
You made it up. It sounded good.
Okay.
Hold
All right.
on, hold on, man. I am telling you, atheism came out of people saying, "What in the world is that natural phenomenon? Why is it thunder and lightning?" In the Greek society, the state-sponsored religion based off of Zeus, they said Zeus did it. The Greek philosophers saying, "Man, I don't think it was Zeus. I think it was something else." That's why they banished the Greek philosophers, bro. That's why they enslaved them or threw them out or murdered them, yo. Okay, they gave them the death penalty for saying that it's some natural thing that was going on, and they called them atheists. You got to look up your history, bro. It never was what you're saying. As a matter of fact, the Greek philosophers wasn't saying they was atheists. It was the daggone state. It was the state saying they was that. You did not read Diop's work? Diop's on page, I believe, 125. He talks about that. But yeah, Abba, we want that documentation to say what you just said, bro. You
I
can't
got it
support that.
for you.
I got you, Ark. I got you.
Yeah, go
I
get
I
got
that.
got
you.
it for
Yeah,
you, Lord
get
Abba.
that.
Hold on.
You got
Yeah.
it, Elder?
Yeah, I'm just making stuff up, man.
What? Man,
You
I'm almost
made
home.
that up, huh?
I made what up? I made what up?
What you just said,
What
because
I what I
I'm
just
finna show you what
no
atheism
no no no.
is
What
from
did
your
I just
old
say?
European definition.
No, what did
All
I
right?
just say? What did I just say? I want to
You
make sure you
said a
comprehend
lot.
what I said.
You said a lot. So let me just capsize what you just said real quick. All right?
This is crazy, man.
No, it
Y'all
ain't
are fuck.
crazy because you
It
going
is,
by
man.
a European definition, brother.
A European
You
definition.
see, I got misunderstood in the chat. She heard that. She heard that. She ready to get it in.
Heard
Si,
what?
when you get a turn,
Let's do
put
it.
that up there. Put that up
Let's
on the
do it.
screen, Si.
I can't believe y'all don't understand how human beings.
Atheism is the absence of
Right.
belief in God or deities, ranging from a single lack of belief or to a positive assertion of that non-existence, often stemming from a reliance on science, reason, naturalism, worldviews over a supernatural explanation that exists as dire viewpoints rather than a single doctrine. I
Thank you,
don't
bro.
have to
You
read
just
no
said it.
more.
You
What you
just said it.
atheist is just like a Hebrew.
So
He
that's what
got
you
the
got out of
same
that?
thing. He got the same kind of thought.
Every time. It's
So that's what you
always
got.
atheist versus Christian.
Is that what you got
That's
out of
all
that?
it is, man. So when
No, is
you
that
try
what you
to
got out of
put
that?
them,
I would like to keep it
Whoa,
on the
whoa, whoa.
politics.
No,
I'm gonna
no,
get
no.
back to you,
Can I
okay,
Ark.
say
let's get
one
back
No,
to
thing?
the
no, no,
Can
no,
I
no,
say
no,
politics.
no.
one thing,
Hold
bro?
on,
Just
man.
one
I'm just
thing.
asking son. I'm just asking Elder. Is that what you got out of what you just read?
That's because it's that simple.
No, did you
It
understand?
don't take no rocket scientist
No,
to
I'm
know that
saying
your
I'm
atheism
saying when you
is
by
another
yourself.
form of belief.
I'm saying when you're
Your
by yourself.
atheism is another form of
No,
belief.
listen what I'm saying. When you by yourself, you're not on the show. Please read that again, bro. Because that's
I
not what
don't
that's
have
saying.
to.
No, you do, because that's not.
All I'm telling you is your thoughts of atheism is just another form of religion. You are a religious atheist.
Nah, Suntan, I was wrong on that. Atheism is not a religion, brother.
No. I'm saying that, listen, a religion, sa.neter, a religion is I can eat tacos every day, and that can be my religion. A religion is something you do constantly, man.
Mm-hmm.
So can't come to me trying to flim-flam me with that, what he talking about. Atheism is another form of religion. That's just his religion and scientific beliefs, which he expound on, and I don't have no problem
Bring
with
it out, Suntan. Let them know, man.
I just
And
don't
I
have no
got
problem.
it pulled up as well,
So,
y'all.
hey, Abba, what are you doing, Abba, right now, yo? Do you realize who you talking to right now? This
I
me.
got it pulled. You want me to read?
No, hold on for a minute, man. Do you
Hey, but
realize?
that's not
Do
the
you realize what I
definition of
just?
religion.
Listen to what I'm trying to tell y'all. Are y'all serious right now, yo? So y'all gonna sit here and act like the indigenous African people did not have the ability to reason and say that crazy nonsense that the shaman is saying is ridiculous, and I don't believe it. You don't think it was people that look just like us were saying that? They just didn't record it because they didn't have a writing system. Are y'all serious right now, bro? So you
Well,
saying the only way to live is to be religious? Man, y'all got it.
no,
Y'all
no,
playing
no,
with
no,
me.
no, no,
Y'all
no.
playing with me, right?
Let
Hey,
me
That's
Lord
read
not
this
what
Abba,
he's
real quick.
saying.
take your time, Abba.
I
That's
got
Abba,
it.
not
don't
what he's
read that.
saying.
Take your time, Lord Abba. Don't listen to him. Son, he'll get it later on. He
I
ain't
got
ready.
you.
He'll get it
Let
later
me
on.
read this. Let me
Don't
read
read
this.
it.
Read
Don't
it,
read
Lord
that.
Abba.
Let me read.
Don't read it, Abba.
I'm coming from Wikipedia. Philosophical atheist thought began to appear in Europe and Asia in the 6th or 5th century BCE. In ancient Greece, playwrights expressed doubt regarding the existence of gods, and the anti-religious philosophical school, Karveka, arose in ancient India. Materialistic philosophy was produced by the atomists Leucippus and Democritus in 5th century BCE, who explained the world in terms of the movements of atoms moving in infinite space. Like I said, this developed in ancient Greece as a school of thinking, a sect. What else I gotta read? Somebody tell me what else I gotta read.
You good.
Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you. Mr. Just the Facts. Y'all know I do this. I do this in my sleep.
All right, let me bring on
Abba, are you serious right now, Abba?
Hold on, Dub on the
I don't want to have this debate with you right now. I want to have
thank you. I'm gonna say I'll save you right now. Wait till you do a little more reading on the subject. I'll back out of it.
Dub, you want to say something? Dub, you got to
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate that, son. Yeah, man. You know, religions, they do divide us, but you know, the divisions go deeper than religion, bro. You gotta think about Bloods, Crips, GDs, all these gangs. I mean, even where I'm from, you know, people rep their neighborhoods where I'm from. Black people, we find a way to divide. Light skin, dark skin, you know what I'm saying? House nigga, field nigga.
Right.
You know, it's something that the white man, I think, has done to us to make us like that. And it stretched further than religion.
That's fact.
You know?
He definitely created a monster.
Yes, he did.
The things he's done to our people has never been done to any people. Right. So if we got problems, it's because it's the history we went through.
That's right, brother. You were so
and
right.
we should never stop acknowledging that. We should never stop acknowledging it.
I'm skeptical of that statement.
Yo, here it is. Here go. We all understand that the European is responsible for our condition.
Yes, sir.
We have to be responsible for our own liberation. Yeah. And y'all keep on going on. We all know what the white man did to us. What the hell are we gonna do about it?
I agree with that, sir.
I don't think.
I'm talking. I'm not saying we all got to get up and go fight. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what are we gonna do about it?
Right.
Are we going to educate ourselves? Are our children going all the way to college? Or are we going to just send them out there, let them smoke their life away, smoke their weed, and we just walk? Many of us that's elders that walk by our youth and don't even say, "What's up, little brother?" We don't even take the time to say, "What's up?" That's how they get lost. That's how they get lost, man. All we want to do, and I know y'all don't want to hear it, but I got to tell you, our youth is just too goddamn busy smoking goddamn weed all day. Smoking weed all day.
That's a fact.
When you look at the Chinese youth and
drop a bomb on that. Drop a bomb on
that. Really, and that's our fault. That's our fault because they smoke weed all day. That's our fault. So you want me to get shot up?
No, it is the elders' fault. So we got to take responsibility for that too.
No, man.
Keep them right.
Well, hold on.
There was a time.
I agree with him.
Coming up
when I was young. My father got to be corrected because I smoked weed when I was young. Come on, that don't make no sense.
No, I'm not talking about you right now, Adam.
Everybody smoked those times.
The youth
wasn't people smoke,
brother. The youth wasn't out there the way it is today, brother.
Well, black people we're being depressed by a white system.
In that shit right now today? Do you know what's in that marijuana today?
Man, I ain't talking to you, sa.neter. Do you know what's in there? Why you ain't outside right now?
You know why I'm not outside right now.
I don't know. You should be in Harlem snatching blunts out of the young niggas.
I
See how far they get you.
You can't be out there.
And it depends on where you get it from, sa.neter. There are people who grow it naturally. and it's not poison. So it
Right.
depends
It
on where you go.
is. It is. It
They sell
is.
it medically
The
sometimes.
only ones that saying saw that's dumb, that's because they ass is addicted. That's why. Your ass
Man, it's
is
an addictive
addicted.
drug, sa.neter.
Yeah.
Marijuana is an addictive drug, period. What are you
You
talking
said,
about?
you said what? Say that again?
I said marijuana is an addictive drug. I'm going to
Right.
tell you before the
And that's
results
why
come
I
out.
say I sound dumb, because your ass is addicted. That's why.
So now you're trying to handle an addicted person by snatching the blunt out of his hand. That don't even make no
Yeah,
sense,
man, no,
sa.neter.
you making all these goddamn excuses. Stop with the bull crap, man.
I'm not
That's
making these. I'm
not
not
what
making
I'm saying.
excuses.
I'm
You
telling
just,
you. I'm
you're not
telling
even
you
listening to
where
yourself,
we at,
sa.neter.
brother. I am
But
listening.
hold on, stop.
That's like
Why you think we do so many drugs? Why you think the black
white man
community?
did
Why
it.
you think
The
it's
white
smart?
Because
man
we
did
try
it.
to get away from our problems.
Now
Oh,
the
who
white man
causing the
did it,
problems?
sir.
Who making the problems? Who
The
making the
white man,
problems?
sir. You forgot it was the white man
Who
did all that. Remember, you just said that.
who
White
making
man
the
did all that.
problem?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the white man make my hand can't keep the blunt out their mouth. The white man did that.
Your
Yeah,
sound messing
the
up,
white man is your boogeyman, brother. I get it. He's your
Who you talking
Yeah,
about?
boogeyman to make all the
you just
excuses.
said that. Y'all up now.
He's your boogeyman.
Can't beat him, join him. I agree with y'all now.
He's your boogeyman to make all the excuses y'all want to make to go ahead and keep doing what you're doing.
No.
Ain't no white
Sa.neter,
man
you
that
just
Not at
did it.
all.
none of that. Ain't no
This
white
man
man
devil
that
talking now.
Not at
yo,
all.
yo, how come
That's
everybody's
not what I'm
talking,
trying
man?
to say.
Yo, how come everybody is talking? Y'all can't be talking at the same time. Ain't no white man putting a gun to your goddamn head, making you do the things you do. Cut it out. Stop it. You making excuses, man. You making goddamn excuses, huh? Ain't no white man making you and forcing you to do the things you do. You do it because you're addicted to it. You like it now. And it takes you away from having to stand up and be a goddamn man and be a woman and raise our babies right and our children right. We not out here raising them to take over the government. And when I mean by take over, I'm not talking about with guns. I'm talking about shaping and molding them where they could get in that goddamn office. The way these Puerto Ricans are doing right now, the way the white man is doing right now, the way, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk was doing. You see how they shaped and mold Charlie Kirk? He was ready to get into the office to become the goddamn mayor somewhere. We ain't doing that.
Hey, Sa.
We applaud when we see our children just smoking weed all day. That's all y'all want, man. Y'all happy with that shit.
Nobody applaud that. Look, I was agreeing with you.
Abba, it's my fault, Abba. Hold on, Abba, it's my fault. It's
Hell
sa.neter.
yeah,
Are we talking?
you're an elder.
No, I'm saying, I'm talking to Lord Abba. Lord Abba, is it me? Didn't I just say, yo? And everybody bashed me for saying it was the white man and all that. Now all of a sudden, it ain't the white man. So I'm
Look
just
at Super
confused. Don't
Wavy.
make your mind up.
Look at Super Wavy. This is how a mind is. And a lot of them think that weed is medicine. See that? that stuff is sprayed with all kind of chemicals, man. That's
No,
why
white man spread. White man
that's
spread.
why you're addicted. No, that's the white man.
Arab, whoever
Ain't
manufactured this spread.
Nah, hold on. Ain't no white man sprayed it. Black people sprayed it. Black people did it.
What they sprayed it with, Sa?
And make it powerful.
Hey, no, come on, Sa. Come on.
Hey, yo, brother.
Yo, Sa sound like, hey.
Listen. Why do you think they got so many different variations of weed? They got mango, they got chocolate, they got cherry, they got the Barack Obama effect. They got all kind of stuff because it's sprayed with all kind of chemicals, brother.
Sa.neter, do you know the percentage of black people that own marijuana shops? Do you know the percentage of black people that are in the marijuana industry, Sa.neter? It's less than 1%. We don't control the chemical spray. We don't control the chemical spray of that's being on the marijuana that's being produced in this country.
No, that's not true. You go
getting at you, Sa.
chemical spray. You buying it. You buying
it and spraying it and
so
selling
is it
it?
the white man or not, though, sa.neter?
Sa.neter, I'm
I'm
very
just trying to figure out which one
educated in the marijuana industry. I got friends. I'm in California. I got friends who own shops, who run
Are they
pop-up
white or
shops
black?
because they
Are they
can't.
white or black?
Because
Are they white or
they
black?
black. They run pop-up shops because they can't get a they
if they
can't get their
black,
certificates.
if they black, they not spraying it.
Yeah,
If they black, they
yeah.
not spraying it. But the black
Well,
people
we don't
got it
know.
from the
We
white
don't know if
people
they
to spread
spraying
it.
it or not. There's no data
No,
on
no,
who
no, no.
spraying
They
it
got
and
it
who
from the
ain't.
white people. They got it from the white people told them to spray it, so they spray it. You know that. Yeah. Just call me Bobby Rage Beta right now, since y'all playing with them black
Bobby
people.
Rage Beta?
Yeah, the white man did it. The white man made y'all spray. He put the sprinkle dust in your eyes, and then you do it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
how it
one of the
works.
that was one of the things about when they legalized marijuana, sa.neter. Black people were disproportionately being jailed from consuming and selling marijuana, right? But then
I
when it
don't need
became
no
legal
goddamn
and we
sauce.
started profiting from it, when there was a
I
profit from it,
don't need no
we were
goddamn
X'd out of that.
for that.
Uh,
People,
yeah,
you think you need a sauce for everything. I don't need no goddamn sauce.
Wait a minute. This is the toughest.
Live in my community.
This is the toughest environment to be
Hold
in.
up. I live in this community.
No, don't mute me, Si.
Hold up. I see this stuff every day. I can't come out my goddamn building without smelling it. I can't walk down the street I can't get to the bus stop without seeing young people, old people, all kind of shit. It's like, it's the new crack.
Nah, the white man made the bus to make you get to the corner, though, yo. Yeah, man. They did it.
Come on,
Hey,
man.
Si sounded like that black cop on Boys in the Hood. I hate your black gums. Right?
Oh, man, yo.
And anybody who make excuses for it, that's because you strung out on it. That's all. Simple as that.
I got you. All right, man. Look, man, it was good, man. It was a good, powerful discussion with me and Brother Jabari. I just want to bring it back real quick. I'm about to get off here and give me something to eat. Of course, always shout out to the fam. Shout out to my big brother, Sa, for making that conversation happen. I think it's edifying. I was reading some of the comments in the chat, and a lot of people are calling for, every time I come through, they're always calling for more political discussions. And, you know, you already know I'm always a phone call away, big bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, man. Y'all be easy, fam. I'm gonna listen from YouTube.
Hey, yo, and even with all of that, hey, 7, even with all of that we got going on, I still love y'all, man.
Oh, same.
People,
Same. You already know what time it is.
So,
man, we family.
Love.
Sometimes you gotta come with tough love, man. That don't mean I don't love my people. I'm gonna speak the way I feel. Everybody got their opinion. Y'all don't have to agree with me, but that's my side of the thing.
Right.
I still love my people. You know what I'm saying?
That's what makes you sa.neter.
Yep. Saw turned into Malcolm X. No, the hell I didn't. Nobody can be a Malcolm X but Malcolm.
Hey, Si, you know we meet y'all tonight, right? You heard me?
I know. That's why I'm getting ready to hang it up right now. 7 o'clock, Detroit versus the Knicks. The Knicks lost 3 games in the fucking row. Sorry for cursing. Damn.
Oh, man, yeah.
3 games in
The
a
white
row.
man made basketball, though. Remember, the white man did that. You look at the white man basketball, yo. Got you in the trash, bro. I tell you, you watching the white man NBA. I can't believe it.
Basketball came from black people.
Yeah, I know he did. Yeah. So.
And the white man seen it. And what he did was what?
Yeah.
He came
Nick
in,
Smith.
He made it a little better.
Man, his name Nick Smith.
Just like baseball.
Yeah, the Aztecs. It actually originated. The idea came from the Aztec, a game the Aztecs had.
Just like baseball.
Where they threw the ball.
Man, did y'all know hockey came from the black man?
Yeah. Some of the first hockey players were black. There's a documentary on it.
It was a black game at first, and they took it over.
Yep.
Hey, yo, Elder Yara, Black Sage, got a nerve to call me out, Suntan.
Oh man, that guy
Called me out this morning, and look at what he's challenging me on. God damn.
Man.
Why is he doing this, man?
Because he got a lot of flim flam for you.
Why is he doing this, Unc? Why is he doing this, Evan?
What he doing? Who is that?
What does it say?
That's Elder Yara.
Part of it. What is it? It's part of it is blocked.
All right, he came up with the title. He said, "Is the God of the Bible evil?" Why are you doing this to yourself?
Uh-oh.
Because what he gonna do
He heard me talking about the God of the Bible is evil. So he challenged me this morning. He said, "I want to debate you, man, on is the God of the Bible evil?" I'm not, and that's,
Right.
you know why
He
he
gonna
loses
beat you.
debates? He loses debates because he don't know how to choose a title. Why would you choose this type of title, bro?
But he gonna beat you, sir. You know why?
Gideon L for Saul. All right.
Why he gonna beat you too?
Why he gonna beat me?
Because, man, all the believers.
Nah, he ain't gonna
they
beat
can't
me.
consider that they God.
I'm dedicating this right here. I'm gonna dedicate this to the sisters, man. That's what I'm dedicating this debate to. All sisters.
I mean, you're gonna have some points, but they ain't gonna go for it. Because at the end of the day, they have fear of the Lord, and they're gonna believe that He's not evil. So,
but you know what? I'm not going for who they going for. I'm going for the people that's picking up that Bible and not reading it for themselves. So I'm going for the sisters, the grandmas, aunties, because they the ones teaching our babies. I don't give a damn. I ain't trying to teach the Israelites because they believe it. They gonna do what they want. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm going for the sisters and our aunties and grandmas that's out there.
It's gonna be a
So
challenge.
I want y'all to have the aunties watching. Have your hey brother, if your wife is caught up in religion, make sure she's sitting down. So y'all can say, see, I told you, because I'm coming with the DNA of what the Bible say. I'm not coming at you what I say. I'm going to show you scripture where God is one evil bastard.
Yeah, but they gonna first
I saw when you and the power went head up, and saw you did a really good job of proving that. I mean, you really got a solid argument with that. So, Elder Yara is in for a world of hurt.
Like I said, belief overcomes.
I was doing a little bit of it yesterday. You know what Apostle got a nerve to say, Santana, and you was there. He said, no, Saul, you don't understand. God is not evil. Let me tell you what the people did. The people, they didn't listen to God's command, and then God did this and made them eat their babies.
Right.
Yeah, that's evil. I don't give a damn what the people did. It's still evil, bro.
Facts.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me, see, watch this. You mean to tell me, because God seen them and they didn't listen to him, didn't God know that they wasn't going to listen?
Facts.
That is set up. God knows everything.
Facts.
So God knew that they wasn't going to listen. And so now God set them up. I'm going to make them eat the baby. The women start putting the babies in the pot and boiling them. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Take all the omni away. Omnipresent, omni, everything goes away then because they did something wrong, so now they got to pay the price. That's what they're gonna get you with. Watch what I tell you.
Nah, they can't get me with that. You know why?
Why?
Because it don't matter what they say when they talk about these was a punishment by God. So what? That means God did it. Stupid. God was behind it. God did it.
Hey, Chisai, you see all these churches filled up every Sunday. How you gonna beat that?
Because they not reading the Bible, brother. They just going. You know what church have become?
Sure.
They have become a modeling place where people go there and put on aggressive clothes, and they go there so people can see how they look and how they dress. That's all it is. They go there to dress up and look cute.
Yeah.
So y'all just on purpose, right? So if I'm an atheist, based off everything y'all just said, wouldn't I be the only one in my right mind?
No.
Oh, so y'all just said how wild it was, how evil the God was in the Bible. I say, bet I don't believe that. Now I'm the bad guy.
No, you're not.
Nah, y'all confused, bro.
I'm saying y'all. I'm saying y'all, man.
You talking about y'all, man.
No, I'm saying y'all just gave me a whole treatise on how atheism was white and all that. But
that's not me. You keep saying y'all.
Yeah, you jumped in and you was right with him. I'm gonna replay it.
No, I said that. I said atheism was a religion, and then I fell back off of it, and I said no, I was wrong, Suntan.
Until I brought you to the realization that it was what religion, the definition of religion is. Since we want to go by definition,
no, it's not.
And ain't nothing you wrong with you being an atheist, huh?
You cut me off
because you diving in.
I gotta dive in because now I'm sitting in my spot now. I'm in a control capsule now where I can get y'all right. I haven't ran because I knew I was on my way home.
Yeah, I know.
So listen, I'm saying get off the word atheist and get off of what culture y'all think it came in. I'm saying it's not recorded in Africa because why wouldn't it be recorded in Africa? They didn't have a written language.
But who said it was?
Okay, but if y'all sitting here right now, intelligent as y'all appear to be, telling me that everybody believed the spell, Joe, it was some people saying that's crack ass crazy.
I agree with that.
You're right.
I agree.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, that's not a fight. And then when you hear the origins of atheism, not even the origin of atheism, when you hear that people are saying, man, I don't think it's raining because Zeus made it rain, or I don't think it's raining because Yahweh made it. I think it might be part of the natural cycle, right? You hear a person say that, yo, they murdered people for saying that.
Right.
So then I'm the only one in my goddamn right mind then. You heard Abba read it. Yeah, they started to try to explain atoms. Yeah, that's when they trying to figure out what is these particles. What is it? Reasoning. Like, so black people is stuck somewhere. Not all black people, right? The majority of humanity is stuck somewhere right here in their brain because we have Stone Age brains that have evolved to quote unquote believe. Some people can get past that. Most people can't. Black people, now we can talk about the black people thing. We can talk about how based off of enslavement, based off of being marginalized, based off of having not as many resources, our only thing is to pray. Because we ain't had no
you came in a little late. I'm getting ready to get up out of here because the Knicks played Detroit. They played the top team in their division. And I got to watch that game. They come on at 7 o'clock
on the white man TV. They putting a spell on you on the TV. That's why.
Yo, you stupid, man. Don't kill me with this white man shit now. All of a sudden, you turning into Sal Rossetti, brother.
Y'all was saying that earlier.
I wasn't saying none of that. I was the one telling you stop with the white man stuff. The white man is the boogeyman.
Man, you switched it up when I started saying it.
No, I didn't.
They all said it was the white man's fault. You said it was the white man's fault. They brought us over here. You said all that.
No, I did not, man.
Watch. All right.
Okay. Did I say that, Suntan?
No,
thank you. I'm bugging.
No, you didn't say that. He on that race bait.
Rewind.
Rewind it. I'm the one that was telling you stop blaming the white man. We all know what we went through. Let's look at ourselves. We need to take a self-perspective. Look at ourselves.
So watch it.
How can we get out of this?
So who fault is it then?
It's our fault right now.
No, period.
The white man is responsible for our condition.
All right, when did this quit? Okay, don't he keep doing the same things that
no. Once we know that the Europeans is responsible for our condition, now it becomes on us. We got to be responsible for our own uprise, our own liberation, brother. Because we know what happened to us. If we know what happened to us, why we keep using the same old excuses? And we're going to pass that down to our children. And they're going to be saying, well, nobody went through slavery but us. You can ask my grandfather used to tell me this. And then they baby's going to keep doing it. And they baby's going to keep doing it. It's time to liberate yourself, brother, and liberate our children, Unc. That's what I'm talking about. After all that, the white man did this now. We know what he did.
I got you.
That's my argument.
And what did he do it with? What was his main tool of enslavement? What is his number one mental tool of enslavement?
Science.
Religion.
Religion, bro.
Religion.
No. It's the science of the religion.
Right.
Oh,
man. Listen. What's the name of the book again?
Religion can't be scientific.
What's the name of the book again? Y'all know we know that the book is not real, but it does. You know what I'm talking about?
Willie Lynch.
Yes, the Willie Lynch effect.
The Willie Lynch syndrome.
Yes,
that's social.
Right, but that shit is real though.
So okay,
we were arguing over light skin, black skin.
I know,
but we did all of that. The elders against the youth. We did all of that. We played that out.
I know, but if you understood science and recognized it, then you know that wouldn't have been. You'd have understood that somebody was messing with your head.
Well, we didn't understand science at that time, including you.
No, that's crazy, bro.
No, it is crazy.
Black people,
because we didn't know about science at that time.
So you saying so
now?
As a
whole.
Let me get
no, during slavery, We didn't understand science. We didn't know about science.
How? When we brought the vaccines here, when we brought inoculation here.
Well, certain people did, like Imhotep and people like that.
Imhotep. We talking about West Africa.
I understand, but you got the knowledge carries
No,
on.
I'm talking about those who were enslaved, those who were chained up.
So who you
those
think
who were being beaten?
They enslaved the artisans and the intelligent people, bro. That they wouldn't enslave a bunch of dumb people. They lead them over there.
They learned that by going to school and by going to colleges, and they learned it along the way, Unc.
It's not true. We didn't need white people to educate us
Oh
on.
man, don't you know we couldn't even? There was a time where we couldn't even read. It was some of us that could read.
We just not all of us. We just couldn't read their language, saw. And then once we got Bibles, we started stuff how to read. Oh man, I give up. Okay, so it is.
Yo, I already know. Chad, I know that's fake document, but I'm saying we played it out. We lived it out though, even though it was a fake document.
It was a fake document. How we live it out? We didn't do that.
The Willie Lynch letter. Yes, we did, brother.
We didn't.
Yes, we did. It was young against the old, light skin versus the black dog skin. You mean to tell me you ain't I grew up in that, brother. What are you talking about?
I definitely grew up in.
You know
I
what?
don't know what you talking about,
Hold on. We just got a great. We just had 3 beautiful shows with younger guys. You know, sa.neter do his promotion thing, and we got to going back and forth. But guess what? By the next episode, me and the young brothers had worked it out. So that show you how the young and old work. We work it out. We might have a little friction in between, but we work stuff out. It's always been that way, bro.
All right. Peace, brother. I got to get out.
Peace.
Peace.
I'm going to finish this discussion. Appreciate you, sir.
All right. Yeah, y'all. Y'all already know what it is. Elder. Black Sage got the heart to call me out. This is why he lose a lot of debates, because he don't know how to choose and pick his topics. He's calling me out because he heard me saying that the God of the Bible is evil. And so he calls, we spoke on the phone this morning. Yeah, you hear me, Yerim Yahoo? You hear me, Yerim Yahoo? You hear me, Easy Bands? Your boy called me out in a debate, and he want to debate me on, is the God of the Bible evil? He's saying no, I'm saying yes. And I'm dedicating this to the sisters, to the women. I really want the women to watch this. I don't give a damn about the brother watching, because y'all the ones that messed up the sister's mind any goddamn way. Once they man became a Jesus thumping Negro, the woman became just like that. So I blame you brothers for manipulating our sisters. I blame you brothers for teaching our women about this false God and these fake gods that don't exist. You got to teach them about the power within, that they have the power, that they are the gods. Now, I ain't say goddesses. The hell with goddesses. They are the goddamn God. We are the gods. That they are the demons and devils. We are the demons and devils. Chain the devil up within inside of you. That's all. Live out your God consciousness. Live out your God consciousness. See, they ain't going to tell you that. They're going to keep lying to you in the Bible. And this is why I wrote this song for you, sisters. This is for you. This goes out to the sisters, man. And make sure y'all have y'all children and babies up in the building.
That is for my sisters trapped in religion. Wake up and free the babies. sa.neter speak the truth, he's on a mission. The house of consciousness, the final call. Will you Bible thumpers wake up, all just fall? The house of consciousness, the final call. Stop believing in fairy tales, especially Paul. I use the Bible like a lantern. lantern in the night, trying to wake up my sister. True light, the house is closing in, it's a total mess. You ignore my wisdom, the ultimate test. Step inside the HOK, it's the toughest terrain, where the truth hits hard, the cuts bring pain. I try to wake you with the word in my hand, to get you to the truth, to help you understand. I gave you the scriptures, chapters and verse. I gave you the keys to break the curse. I gave you Torah to unlock with keys. Break the mental chains and be free. The final call. Yeah, will your Bible thump is wake up, all just fall. The house of consciousness. The final call. Stop believing in fairy tales, especially Paul. They call you apostle like you a prophet of God, telling lies and fooling people can't be that hard. You're preaching from YouTube, looking for a handout. I'm standing on family, trying to bring the truth out. Welcome to the HOK, where the truth resides. No more hiding in the pews where the dies. We speak against the Bible just to wake the inner sight. Come inside the HOK doors, we bring the light.